I am a canvas of my experiences. My story is etched in lines and shading, and you can read it on my arms, my legs, my shoulders, and my stomach. Cybergoths, punks, and augmented thereupon. This is modern escapism. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Oodles, the tribal tattoo on a job seeker from Scunthorpe of podcasting. Today, as always, I am joined by the chrome-domed, upside-down-faced Gadget.
Wow.
A foot soldier from the Yorkshire Yakuza, e-by-gum crime syndicate, it's Stig.
Hello.
The walking, talking Prince Albert himself, Gadget. Oh, fuck.
Yes! You're throwing me in twice.
There it is. There
What are
it
you
is.
doing?
Fucked it.
Start again.
Fucked it right.
No.
No,
No,
this is
just-
staying in.
no,
Just carry
just
on.
carry
The
on.
walking, talking Prince Albert himself, Biggie.
Hello.
I always forget his name. Hi. And at last, we finally found one that doesn't have an XY chromosomal system and adept within needle-based art. It's Candymachine.
Hello.
Whoa, a girl.
Holy shit.
Such a knob.
How are we all doing?
I think we're all doing better than Stig.
Awful.
Yes. Stig, I'm going to come to you in a second, but I believe you've had a worse for wear evening.
Oh, no, the evening was fine. Today's been worse for wear.
I'm sure we'll touch on that a little bit later.
No, I'm not talking about that. I literally will not win any parenting awards today. My kids were just left to go and do whatever they want while I laid down all day and did nothing because I am
Eat what you want, children. Daddy's unwell.
How's
Very
it different to any
hungover.
other day?
Fuck you. Let me just read this message that my friend sent in our WhatsApp group. He says,
Okay.
Stu, you're a mess. I dropped your brolly off back at midday to find our kids fending for themselves downstairs. Brutal parenting.
So, before we find out what we've been up to this week, as time-honoured tradition would stand, we need to quiz Candy. Who the bloody hell are you?
Well, I'm Joe, aka Candymachine. I'm a tattooist and a graphic designer, and I also design merchandise and go on tour with bands.
Okay, that's very concise. I enjoyed that. One of my 5 questions is, what do you do? But you've answered that. So
You're doing well so far.
points
Get them
Points
all
for
out of the
that.
way quick.
Next question. What's your favourite game, movie, or book?
This is going to be a long one because I've written down one for everything. So I'm
Do
going
it.
to start with book. My favourite book.
Biggie did that in the first episode as well.
I know, that's why I did it too. I'm milking this for all it's worth. So my favourite book is called 14, and it's by Peter Clines. 14 is a story about Nate Tucker who moves into an uncommonly cheap building in Los Angeles. Outwardly, there appears to be nothing wrong with the building, but people have sort of been moving out due to it having odd vibes and for strange reasons, and nothing too untoward, but just kind of creeping out slowly. It sort of begins as what I would call like a light sci-fi, but it kind of descends into like a Lovecraftian thriller. It has the tone of what I would call a sort of monster of the week type adventure. It's the first installment in Peter Cline's Threshold series of books, and it's loosely connected in the same universe. It was going to be Ready Player One, but I'm still too hurt by Ready Player Two.
Agreed.
Fair enough.
Sounds cool, actually.
It's really worth a go. I really recommend it. All of Peter Cline's books, he does a lot of sci-fi and sort of superhero things, but it's not too out there.
Is there an audiobook?
Yes.
Then I will listen
I
to
only
it.
do audiobooks.
Same.
And will it be adaptable for a TV series or a movie or something? Will it work?
Do you know what? I actually heard a rumor, and I think it came from Peter Clines himself, but it seems to have fizzled out, that somebody from the MCU is interested in producing it.
Oh, so it's not Zack Snyder then?
Not Zack Snyder, thank God. Because otherwise it would just be in slow motion the entire time. No, I think it was actually Robert Downey Jr. that was talking about it, but...
And Doolittle were really well as well. That did good for him. So, yeah, why not?
Did it?
No.
Nope. Cool. Favourite game then?
So I'm going to have to do honourable mentions here as well. My favourite game is Ocarina of Time, Legend of Zelda. It was really
Nice.
hard-pressed to choose a top favourite. But I think Ocarina was the game that actually changed me from a person that plays video games to an actual gamer. It came out when I was 12, so it was the first game that really sort of captured me before it even came out, sort of reading the N64 magazines, looking at the screenshots. I hadn't even heard of a Zelda game before that. And it also has, I've got sort of nice memories associated with it as well, because my grandparents bought it for me for Christmas, and I remember unwrapping it and playing it and trying to explain to my grandma what exactly was happening.
He's not called Zelda, Gran.
Yeah.
Wait, what? I do have to give mention to BioShock as well. That's another one of my favourites, and I really enjoyed watching your stream.
It will continue, I promise.
Would you kindly finish that game?
Ooh.
Oh, I have to now.
I was ready for that moment, and it was you went through every range of emotion.
I know. I can only apologise.
It's also our best performing YouTube video.
Oh, is it?
Your reaction to it.
It was brilliant.
And it's interesting considering how old that game is, but it still has that impact on someone that hasn't played it, you know?
That's because everyone kind of respects the spoilers around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had it spoiled ever, so...
Well, I played it the first time, and I played the newer version, the updated version, and I was quite hard-pressed to find too many differences, and that's not because I don't think the remaster... I don't feel like they called it in, but it's just a testament to how good it was in the first place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I have to mention Skyrim as well.
I wondered when it would come in.
I have to. The boys at Bethesda would...
Because your husband had some doing with that?
My husband, Todd Howard, yes. I believe he was involved.
I believe he was.
I don't like to mention it, you know. I don't
And all
want
of
to
his
embarrass
jank.
him. I love his
Janky
jank.
husband.
My janky husband, yeah.
Just
But just to
glitches
be
out
able
when he
to-
walks in the living room.
Yeah. But just to be able to lose yourself, and it's so relaxing,
in the
it's such an atmospheric game when things don't jank out.
Maybe not in 2021. That's when I first started playing it. But, favourite movie?
Dark Knight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not only do I think it's the best Batman film, I think it's genuinely one of the best films that's ever been made.
I
in my
agree.
opinion.
I absolutely agree. It is my favourite superhero film.
I think, well, it's one of the films that it's kind of redefined comic book films, along with possibly Iron Man, maybe.
Yeah.
That it can be that gritty and more adult, and
Yeah.
it's not, Batman doesn't save the day at the end of it. It's not a happy ending, and
No.
just the sort of moral dilemmas he faces, especially in terms of having to choose between two characters, one of which is a love interest, the other one could potentially save the city, and he fails by not saving both of them, and essentially condemns Harvey Dent to madness.
Yeah.
So it's more of a sort of realistic. There's no kind of supernatural element to everything. This is a film you can believe could actually happen.
Oh, it's grounded in realism to a degree, yeah.
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 Excellent. So, next question. Your favourite conspiracy theory?
This is a good one.
I know.
I like the birds aren't real one.
Yes! I knew you were going to say that. Love that. I love
This
that.
is what's real.
Explain.
What?
So
haven't heard
there's a conspiracy that birds are actually government spy drones.
What?
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I think I might have actually cheated a bit here because I think it's a parody, but I just find it so hilarious I had to go with it. And I loved when we went into lockdown last year on Twitter, when some comment I said that the real reason we had to go into lockdown was because the government had to change all the batteries in the birds.
Well, it would be quite an undertaking, so yeah, absolutely.
It's one of those ones that it started out life as a parody on like 4chan and Reddit and stuff like that, and it is still a lot of people who like I follow the Birds Aren't Real subreddit.
Of course you do.
Because it's fucking funny, and most people are on the fact that yes, it's a piss take, but there are actually people who do believe it, and that is the funniest part of it. It's like when we did the pilot episode, when I talked about flat earthers. You know, which it's the Flat Earth Society started as a parody, and people actually
Yes.
believed it.
Hang on.
I've seen
Twitter
cats.
has an emblem of a bird.
Oh,
And
my
that's full
God.
of lies and distrust.
Not my Twitter, it isn't.
and government surveillance.
Wow. And finally, Joe, your favourite joke.
I'm going to have to try and get through this because I was reading it earlier and absolutely cracked up.
Okay.
I met a Dutch bloke with inflatable shoes last week. I texted him for a date, but he'd popped his clogs.
Oh, my word.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you very much for answering those questions. And people will be thinking, who is this lady? So Joe is now the 5th member of the Beatles, the podcasting Beatles. She will be a regular on Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep, our sister podcast from now to infinity. And she will be on this show quite often, let's just say.
Yay!
We will try to, unless we've got a guest on, stick to 4 because it's easier for Gadget to edit, and I'm nothing but a merciful host. But Joe will be here to pick up the pieces. Let's say Stig's had one too many shots too many, and he's not available. Joe's there. She's our tactical substitution, and we love her just for it. So get used to her. She's incredible.
He makes
But
it
now-
sound like I'm the one that
Yeah,
doesn't
you
get
are.
pissed every weekend.
I get
What
pissed
did you
every
do last
weekend, but I'm
night?
always here.
What were we doing last night?
It's like once in the last... Oh, twice in
Weekend?
the last year.
So what we'll do, as we normally do, we're just going to get to what we've been up to this week. And I'm going to start this because I've got an apology to make.
Oh,
Yeah. So I've wrote a letter. Are you ready?
you could write?
Well, typed.
Oh.
So there will be errors. Dear escapees, it is with a heavy heart that I am writing this statement, but the truth needs to be heard. In the past week, I have embarked on a grand cosmological odyssey within the vast expanses of the Milky Way, using the avatar Oodles O'Shepherd, an Earthborn military professional in the N7 Alliance program. Throughout my adventure spanning 3 games, I kept my work life and private life completely professional, but herein lies a development. As a stout humanist, I pride myself on keeping my stern interest upon the glory and natural evolution
Shagged an
of
alien,
the human
didn't you?
race. However, after countless suicidal missions and diplomatic peacekeeping exploits, I found myself forming a strong friendship that led to an intimate and loving relationship with an Asari alien consort known as Dr. Liara Tassoni. So my apology
Liara
is
as well.
of a hypocritical nature, and I have in fact witnessed and had my very first sexual encounter in a video game. And it was an alien. My privacy at this time should be respected, but feedback about my heel turn will be acknowledged and dealt with accordingly. Thank you.
Sorry, Oodles, but I've already been there.
What? So
30 seconds.
I have been playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I say playing, completed 3 games. And on the 3rd game, I succumbed to my urges. I've always been a professional in games. I played The Witcher 3, I played all the Witcher games. Geralt never got laid. And
Oh, Geralt.
and I don't know, we just bonded, me and Liara, and she offered me to come to my cabin on the SR2 Normandy, and one thing led to another. I found myself in a blue embrace, watching
Could have been a Smurf.
2 porcelain dolls bump into each other. And I did get a twinge.
So hang on. So what you're telling me is you found love in a blue embrace?
Yeah, I did, yeah. I did. And I've been wrong all this time. So, people that know me or in our community know that you can't shag aliens, they're a different species and stuff like that. And I'm a hypocrite.
Oh, shit.
I'm a hypocrite.
There have been many a discussion around that subject with you.
Yeah.
And different types of aliens, which ones might be suitable, and
Yeah.
elves even.
Yeah. So now I've gone back on it. I mean, I go back on a lot of things. I did that with Grand Budapest Hotel and stuff. I'm up for admitting my mistakes, and I was mistaken.
Hang on, are you comparing virtual shagging with a blue alien to finally watching a Wes Anderson film?
Yes, I absolutely am. And
hell.
it were great. It were a good time, and it made the final push of the third game more beautiful when she said to me, "Shepard, I love you." And do you know what I made him say? I know.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah. But I just want to say it's an incredible trilogy of games. They're absolutely up to date with 4K technology and stuff. Obviously, the graphics are still old, especially the first game. But yeah, get on that Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I got it for £30. You can get it cheap at certain places. It's so fucking good.
I can't believe it took you that long to do Game 3.
It took me ages to do Game 3. It's so long. But like, the first game, there's not a lot to it. I didn't realise that. I mean,
there is. It's called side quests and exploring.
Yeah, but the side quests on the first game are more
Doesn't
like...
do that.
Getting
mainline noodles.
No. On the first game, the side quests are just like picking resources up and stuff like that, and like travelling in that horrible car across the moon and stuff like that.
Did you scan a single planet? Did you
Yeah,
scan
I did them all.
them?
I did them all. You check my
Really?
achievements. I've more or less got every achievement.
Well,
But yeah, the second
that's
game...
some figures, I'll give you that.
I know, man. The second game kicked into gear. Absolutely brilliant storytelling. Still missing a little bit when it comes to gameplay. And the third one, I know some people don't really like the third one, but I think it's the best one. Especially with the DLC attached to it. It's got a proper ending. And I don't know, it really got everything culminated into this beautiful crescendo.
With all the DLC there, it's got a proper start as well.
Yeah.
I was so pissed off when it first came out, and they're like, "Oh, here's the Arrival DLC day one," and I'm like, "Fuck you, EA, you bastards!"
Yeah. I didn't notice any of that. It was just so succinct, and it was beautiful. It's a beautiful game. Really good world building. I've started Andromeda. Ooh, that took a turn. That's took a turn, hasn't it? So technically, the graphics are better when everyone's not moving.
Yeah.
Screenshots, it works.
Yeah. It's a really, really slow story and really bad characters. I don't love anyone yet.
You won't.
No, I don't think I will. But, yeah, those 3 games, incredible. And as I said, I apologise for my original beliefs over the past few years. And yeah, I'm now on team fuck aliens.
So are you now going to go back through all the previous games that you've missed out on fucking aliens?
Yeah. By aliens, I also mean mystical creatures, elves, everything like this.
Yeah,
fuck
we've been
it.
telling you this
Fuck
all
it.
this time.
As long as it's consensual, I'm all for it.
Just gives you another reason to play Witcher 3.
Absolutely.
And Alien Isolation.
No. I don't want to get fucked by a xenomorph. That's not consensual at all. So let's move on to Biggie. What have you been up to, pal?
I'm afraid I haven't got much of an update. I'm still watching This Is Us with my good lady.
Dude.
And the only thing I am close to is finishing Final Fantasy VII.
Never heard of it.
I am at the final battle.
Oh, you're in the crater.
You're at the crater,
And
yeah.
All I'm doing at the moment is trying to finish off all the stuff that I need to do before I do that.
Yeah, there's like a last save
Because-
point, isn't there?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I am there.
Oh, excellent, mate. Excellent. You'll smash
25 years in the
What are you
making.
like? What are you playing it on?
PS5 because
It's still incredible that you're
I've
playing
had
it
it
on
on
that.
every other fucking console.
It's been through 5 generations of PlayStation to get you to finish it.
He's playing it in 4K, 140 hertz.
That's not where I was going with it, to be honest. I was going to say that you should just stream the final battle.
Oh,
Do you know what? I am tempted, but
It's
what
not
I'm gonna
very
try and
difficult,
do-
mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, I've got Knights of the Round Table, mate.
Oh,
But
you've won.
yeah, the thing is that I want to maybe try and get the platinum. I just need to double check what trophies I need to do to get that, and if it's
I think you've
possible.
got to win some of the Chocobo races and stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to double check that before I stream that final battle because I'd love it if it popped at the same time. So we'll see.
Excellent.
But yeah, that's it. I'm afraid not much else.
No, that's enough, man. That's enough. Stig, what you been up to, hon?
Lying in bed, lying on the sofa,
Crying.
dying. Yeah. Apologise for my yawning. No, so this week I want to get Resi 8 played, and I try and tend to stick to one game at a time per console, because otherwise I find myself just getting bogged down and swapping between games and stuff. So I'm trying. This week I've been on a mission to get Miles Morales completed, so I've pretty much been playing that in my spare time.
It's like a 10-hour game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not very long, but I'm doing all the side stuff as well in it.
I've never heard of side stuff.
So I've just been doing that really. I really liked the Spider-Man game from a few years ago.
Yeah, I do.
And this is just more of the same, but in my opinion, a better character. I really enjoy playing as Miles a lot more than I do Peter. I don't know why.
I didn't like that version of Peter Parker very much. I think, like with the 2018 one, it's like he was older. He was supposed to be like kind of in his like early 30s at that point. He'd been doing it for a while, and he's still going on like he's like teenage Peter. And it's just like,
I'm in my 30s and I'm doing the same. So.
Yeah.
Oh, and we tell you to get a grip every week.
Apart from now, he looks like teenage Peter because he changed his look.
Yeah. But no, I think probably Peter Parker he's kind of a boring character. He's a cliche back when he was first created. And that was good back then.
It was supposed to be, wasn't it?
Miles has got that more of an interesting personality. Look at Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. I mean, he's
Such a
awesome
good
in
film.
that.
Yeah, so it's basically, yes, like Eagle said, it's like a 10-hour game. It centers around playing as Miles. That storyline was set up in the first Spider-Man game.
Yep.
Spider-Man goes on holiday and leaves Miles to basically he just goes on holiday and leaves Miles to.
I'm off to Butlins, Miles. Look after New York.
Fend for the city, but like I just he's got his new attack, so he's got his
He's got his cloaking thing, hasn't he?
you can cloak. So you can, when you're doing stealth, you can mix your cloaking in, which is quite fun because you could just literally go right up to enemies right in front of them and just like they'd have no idea you're there, and then just do like a finishing move on them.
The stealth in the first game was basically Mary Jane rather than Spider-Man, wasn't it? So
I hated those missions.
So did I.
Like
I did too.
It's like I want to be Spider-Man.
Don't make me be Mary Jane.
I don't care about being Mary Jane. It's just that the missions that they gave her were shit.
Yeah.
Just
don't get spotted.
Sneaking around offices and stuff. So I was like, I want to swing around. Stop making me.
See, I didn't mind the breaks in like being Spider-Man, like going to the Mary Jane, to the Miles missions. It was just the insta-fail stealth missions.
Yeah.
It's not how you do it.
Give me stealth where if I fuck up, I've got to run around like a headless chicken for 5 minutes and get back into stealth.
Yeah, and that's what Miles Morales does. With this one, it's like when you do have to do stealth, if you fuck up the stealth, it's like more enemies that come. So you've created a problem for yourself.
Great.
Yeah,
that's how it should be.
Love it.
So I spent ages like taking these guys down one by one, like jumping from one point to another, swooping down, like crawl, hanging down, getting them all up. The last guy fucking spotted me and he's like, back up, we need backup. I was like, fuck's sake. Then I have to spend the next 5 minutes taking another 20 enemies out. But it's fun. So that's good. He's also got like an electrified attack.
Yeah,
which is really good.
Box.
Yeah, so not only have you got your stealth, you can go turn invisible, you've got this new like electrified punch and things, which is great. You're doing like slamming your fist to the ground and it just creates like a shockwave of electricity and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just more of the Spider-Man really, but with Miles, and there's enough in there to make it different, to make it feel like it's a properly different game. Probably shouldn't have been £50.
No,
it don't matter though.
I know, but it's DLC in the form of a new game.
Have you unlocked his multiverse costume yet?
No, I've bought other ones instead.
I hear that looks really good.
Yeah, it does. And there's one as well there. You can go into cartoon mode, so it's not like he's like a proper his costume from a comic, pulled from a comic, and he moves differently in it as well. So they've put like his animation, and I think it's similar to the Spider-Verse one.
Is it the low frame rate animation?
I've just the way.
Yeah,
I'm not
I've
sure.
seen that one.
But I think like different suits make him move differently as well, which is kind of cool.
How they didn't put the Venom costume in the first one just fucked me right.
It's wild, that, isn't it? It's wild.
Well, they might have ideas.
Oh.
No, no, that's not like an exclusive.
I thought you were insider there.
No, I'm just thinking that if they want to do a Venom storyline with a sequel, they don't want to be putting a Venom costume in, do they? So
I think they kind of hint at that in the ending as well.
Yeah, at least you got Bagman. I love Bagman.
Yeah,
you'll know it if you're into the comics.
I think I unlocked all the suits in the.
Yeah, he's just got a plastic bag on his head.
Yeah. I've got holiday one now though, where Miles like swings around with a bobble hat and a scarf on.
Perfect.
That's quite nice. But yeah, no, it's really, really, really good. If you like Spider-Man 1, you haven't played this.
I've seen that game physical at about 35 to 40 quid. So
I love it. I love flying around the city. I like. It's only I don't really use picture mode in games much, but it's one game that I do like quite taking pictures of. Like,
I bloody love it.
Yeah. You can get some really good because you can do picture mode within the cutscenes as well. There was something like really cool's happening. That you can pause it and take a picture of that.
You can only tend to do that in games that it's like in-game cutscenes, like the same engine.
Yeah, because I mean that's how good it looks. I'm only playing
FMVs.
I'm only playing PS4, so I imagine it looks and feels completely like mind blowing on PS5 because it looks great on PS4.
You've got all the Raymonds and stuff, haven't you, on PS5?
I've got it. I was given it for my birthday. I loaded it up for about an hour, but I'm saving it to go back to. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I got it at Christmas. I just haven't been playing it much.
It's been a busy year.
Yeah, but I want to play Resi Village, so I'm like,
you're gonna love it.
I'm gonna go trade that in for Resi Village. So
excellent, mate. Thank you. So before we move on to Gadget, Candy, have you been up to anything on the spot?
Oh, I've been watching the Mighty Ducks series on Disney.
What? Mighty Ducks series?
There's a Mighty Ducks series. It's
with Emilio Estevez.
Oh yeah, he's back. Jason Bay is back.
Wow!
I didn't know he's still alive.
Oh yeah.
No, you're thinking of his brother.
No, it's Charlie Sheen's the one you want to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not just a nice sort of drama-free family show, really. It's,
like the films.
Yeah, it's a bit of a throwback. It's got a couple of repeating jokes from the originals, but if you've watched Mighty Ducks before, you sort of know what you're in for. A kind of ragtag team of misfits joining forces and inexplicably beating the team that's been, spoiler alert, that's been training for years and years with top of the range coaches and everything. But it's a lot of fun. It's not going to win any Oscars, but
neither did Cobra Kai, but I loved Cobra Kai.
Oh, Cobra Kai was fantastic.
It was like Power Rangers, wasn't it? But without the morphing.
The Power and the Rangers.
I always preferred the Mighty Ducks cartoon where they were actually real ducks. Can you remember that?
I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that one.
They were like street sharks and stuff like that, but real ducks. And instead of playing hockey, they used to fight with hockey equipment.
I don't think it ran for very long.
No.
Is there any other recurring characters from the films?
Yeah, the kids, are they older?
There may be cameos, but I won't say whose. But they're not main characters. But you will see a couple of the originals.
And that's on Disney Plus.
I think. Disney Plus, yeah. It's we're getting towards the end now. I think it's on season 9, episode 9.
Yeah.
Out of 10, I think.
Oh.
So it's starting to wrap up, but it's good fun. Yeah, it's worth a watch if you've got nothing better to do.
Excellent, thank you very much. So, Gadget, top that.
Okay, well, lads and ladies, I went outside.
No way. What's happening outside?
I went to a place where people were.
Are the graphics good outside?
No, not as good as the Xbox.
No.
But I went to the fucking cinema for the first time in 15 fucking months.
Woo! Wow.
Good feeling.
Yeah. So the last film I saw at the cinema before the world caught fire
was Mighty Ducks.
No,
in the 80s.
It was the absolutely seminal 1917.
Oh, I saw Star Wars. That was the last one
I saw Star Wars too. I left on a bad note.
Yeah, same. And I'll never go to a cinema ever again.
The first film I saw back at the cinema when the world started to open again was not the quality of 1917. It was Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh!
Which might be the stupidest film I've ever seen.
Monster wrestling.
The thing is, though, there isn't that much monster wrestling in this.
Oh, fuck's sake. That's all we need.
It's nearly 2-hour-long film, and I'd say there's maybe about 40 minutes of monster wrestling.
Oh my god, have they put a plot in there? Have they actually put a plot in there?
Is there too many humans in it?
There's far too many humans
in it.
Oh,
no.
Said this, one of the, literally, Millie Bobby Brown's storyline.
Her story is pointless.
Cut it, and this film is exactly the same.
Yes.
Oh, like Indiana Jones? Yeah?
Basically,
You already
yeah.
made that joke.
I know, but I'll make it again.
So the thing is, this is an incredibly stupid film, and I'm putting a spoiler alert out here because I'm just going to put it in there.
There is a plot.
I need to go through it. It's so bad.
Do it, mate. Do it.
Hey, it's Gadget here. If you don't want Godzilla vs. Kong spoiled for you, skip ahead to 44 minutes and you'll miss me ranting about this for 14 minutes. Enjoy! So, the film starts off with big sweeping shots over this huge facility in Florida, and everyone's doing sciencey things, and there's like corporate videos on for the Apex Cybernetics Corporation, which, I mean, frankly, it might as well be fucking Umbrella. It's you just look at the logo and you think evil company.
Yeah.
And of course, everyone's going about their business. There's a guy who has a conspiracy podcast who says he was recording an episode in his car as he's about to go to work at Apex, saying, "I am going to steal all this information."
What microphone is he using?
AirPods.
Oh, wow. That must sound incredible.
Yeah, but this is the level of intelligence that the story goes on. I'm not going to go into the full detail of everything that happens in this, but I just need to point this out. The guy hosts a very popular conspiracy podcast about these titans, about like Kong and Godzilla and all that.
King Ghidorah and that.
Yeah. The entire content of his podcast is about everything that Apex Cybernetics is doing evilly that he can't prove, but he's an employee of them, and he says on the podcast that he is going to steal data from them.
Oh.
As he's walking into work.
Oh.
You can't tell me that a huge corporation like that is not going to be aware of who he is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I thought that's like, you've got a really distinctive voice, mate. Like your character, like everyone would know who you are.
Yeah, and also he's the guy in the office that's going around saying, "Oh, you shouldn't eat apples. They've got pesticides on there, and there's fluoride in the water. Only drink bottled water." That kind of. He's such a conspiracy.
Everything conspiracy. That guy would think birds are fucking government drones. Yeah.
But yeah, so he walks in.
He's not alone.
And then Godzilla attacks the facility. And they're like, oh, Godzilla's not the savior of humanity
You must
anymore.
be listening.
And I'm sat there thinking, was Godzilla ever the savior of humanity? I know he killed a few kaiju in the last few.
No, he likes to steal women and climb buildings. That's not really savior.
That's Kong. I'm saying Godzilla here, mate.
Shit, sorry.
Yeah, but Godzilla tends to stamp on a lot of people and destroy a lot of cities.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to skip ahead here because I need to give you this kind of context-free, because part of this also goes on. Have you heard the Hollow Earth conspiracy theory?
Yeah, it's like the Jules Verne things, isn't that story where there's dinosaurs living underneath the earth, or civilizations under the earth and stuff.
I knew
That's
it.
in this film.
No.
And they take Kong there.
Oh.
Because there is a source of unlimited power in the Hollow Earth, and humanity wants to take control of it to solve our energy crisis. But the best part is they're transporting Kong from Skull Island to Antarctica, where they believe there is this entrance to the Hollow World. And to transport him there, they've got him on a giant fucking ship, chained up. The classic Kong way to move Kong around.
Mm.
And then Godzilla attacks. The only explanation for Godzilla attacking is they have an ancient rivalry, and the two of them hate each other. So you get a rather exciting kind of 20-minute fight scene involving boats and Godzilla just owning everything, to the point where one of the scientist people says, "Turn off the engines to the boats, play dead, so Godzilla will leave us alone." So they turn off the engines. Kong's kind of injured, lying on the boat, and Godzilla looks at it and went, "Oh, fuck, they're dead," and he wanders off.
No.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Like, he doesn't. He's just like, oh, these boats are dead, so I'll just leave the giant gorilla who's clearly not dead. Like, why didn't he go back and finish him?
So they need a solution to get to Antarctica, to get Kong there. If they turn on the boats, Godzilla's going to be aware of them, right?
Yep.
Cut to 14 Chinook helicopters and Kong hanging in a giant net. No explanation of how they got there, but they've somehow airlifted him from the Pacific to the fucking Antarctic.
Without making a noise to disturb Godzilla.
Without making a noise, yeah. And it's at this point the film gets ridiculous.
Mm.
Like, it's not ridiculous up to this point. It's completely
How did they get the
Everything
net underneath him?
Yeah, with the net underneath him, yeah. He's just hanging in a big fucking, like, hammock held up by Chinook helicopters.
How do they get him off the
That's a
boat
good
into
point.
the net?
So
They go like this. Come on.
With a massive monkey nut.
Yeah.
as per pitch meetings, which there is a pitch meetings for this, and I watched it last night, to drive the plot forward. That's the literal explanation for it.
Yeah.
Pure science.
But yeah, so they go into the center of the Earth where gravity is all fucked up. There is ground on the ceiling and on the floor. Fair enough. That's kind of what you expect.
Inside a globe,
Yeah. Kong finds a throne room that his species has made with an axe made of a Godzilla dorsal fin.
I mean,
that holds
his
energy.
species just being really big monkeys.
His species being really big monkeys.
Here's the other thing about the Hollow Earth, and obviously, I kind of like the whole gravity upside down thing. So you are kind of in.
That would happen.
Visually it looked great.
But why is there a sky?
Yeah, why is there
Where
light
does the
everywhere?
light come from?
Oh yeah, it'd be
In
pitch black,
a
wouldn't it?
ball inside the Earth, there is no light source. Like, why is there a
Probably
sky?
explain it with phosphorus rocks or something like that. I don't know.
No, there's an actual sky.
That's weird.
So, Oodles, I do have to point out there is a twist to this film.
No way.
It is called Godzilla vs Kong,
But
but there is a third. What do you think the humans need all this power for?
Ultron.
No.
Mecha Godzilla.
Fuck
the
off.
humans are making Mecha
No
Godzilla.
way.
Yes. And it looks dreadful. It looks so shit.
It looked dreadful back in the fucking 50s.
But what it looks like they've done is it looks like they've effectively digitized the suit because it looks like Godzilla.
Is it just as tall as him?
Yes.
How do
So
you
when
construct that?
Well, so to go with your conspiracy things, the film ends in Hong Kong. So in Hong Kong there is that mountain in the middle of it, and you
Yes.
have the buildings around there. Yeah, in this film, that's an umbrella style lab. So that when Mecha Godzilla gains sentience, because he gains sentience and no longer is being controlled by the humans, he punches through the mountain.
What?
And weighs into the fight between King Kong and Godzilla. It is so fucking bad.
Was it at
Hong
this
Kong
point everyone
is-
in the cinema cheered?
There was only two of them in there.
And me and Pip were sat there, we were just laughing, we were creased laughing. It was such a stupid film.
Hong Kong is fucked at this point, by the way.
Oh yeah, there's nothing left standing in Hong Kong at the end
Like,
of it.
them two have been fighting, and like, you generally just like, there's a lot of dead people, like buildings getting crashed through, like Godzilla, like literally like ramming Kong's head through a building and stuff like that. Like, and it is just everywhere chaos.
The thing is, despite the fact that all the human performances are terrible and that Alexander Skarsgård is rapidly becoming the new Aaron Eckhart,
No.
because he's just generic handsome blonde man for
He's
action
very
film.
handsome, though.
Yeah. The special effects are good. The only thing that I don't like about the special effects or the kind of the battling is the director has no concept of scale. Like, Kong is effectively different sizes depending on where the camera angle is. Like, sometimes he's like towering over Godzilla, sometimes Godzilla's towering over him and stuff like that. Like, it seems to lose a lot of things. There is no consistency in stuff like the soundtrack. Sometimes there's some really cool, like, kind of synthwave sounding stuff, and you think, like, make this a really cheesy 80s throwback kind of film, and I'd be all on board with it. But then sometimes you've got, like, someone trying to be fucking Jerry Goldsmith with the huge orchestra going on.
I did see a fan trailer with Linkin Park as the background music.
That would probably be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Stigger said, and like I'm going to say again, Millie Bobby Brown's plotline is completely irrelevant, and she is terrible in this film.
I don't think she's
Like,
been good in anything. I'll say it
no,
now.
You take that back.
I know I'm saying it now. She's not the best thing in Stranger Things.
Well, no, but the girl can act. She can't
She's
act
good
in
at
this.
that. What's wrong
like,
with you?
And in fact,
No, she listens
in
to the
this,
show. I'm sorry, Millie.
in
listen to the show.
this film, she is a very punchable character. Like everything that she does is so dickish. Like, she treats her best friend really shit because she's obsessed with this fucking conspiracy nut guy. They also managed to get into super secret parts of this Apex cybernetics base without being caught by security. They just fucking walk through doors.
That's what that
It's a
podcast
super-
Patreon money gets you.
Oh,
Straight
and they also get from, is it San Francisco to
No, it's Florida to Hong Kong via an Elon Musk style hyperloop system that the world doesn't know exists.
Is it set in Hong Kong for funding? Because they set things in China for a lot of funding, don't they?
Probably, yeah.
The Chinese government are like, set it in China, we'll give you loads of money.
Yeah, there's just a... Oh yeah, and there was one point where Alexander Skarsgård's character, who is just some physicist...
So he's not a vampire in it?
No, he's not a vampire.
For fuck's sake.
He uses some sci-fi magnetic lifting craft thing that he's only known the existence of for about 2 hours to use it as a defibrillator to restart King Kong's heart.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that happened.
It's so stupid.
Andy knows how to fly those.
And he knows how to fly this technology
thing, yeah.
that he didn't know existed 2 hours beforehand.
I bet you didn't see the plot of that woman turning out to be a baddie.
Oh yeah, the evil corporation's CEO's daughter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wasn't obvious that she was going to turn on them.
No.
Okay, now.
What's her surname? Wesker?
No,
I've got signposts that are pointing at her every time she appears.
Evil woman. That was
Simmons, the Apex CEO is called Walter Simmons.
Wesker Simmons.
But he does that thing where he's talking to characters early on, where he wears his jacket over his shoulders, doesn't put his arms through.
Oh, that's what baddies do, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely a baddie thing, isn't that?
So much exposition in this as well. Like at one point, like Julian Donaldson's character's just like, "Oh, it's Mecha Godzilla," and yeah, we figured that out, mate. Like, we don't need you to be like, you basically might as well have turned to the camera, said it, and winked.
I mean, in real life, if they constructed a Mecha Godzilla, they wouldn't call it Mecha Godzilla. They'd give it a shit boring numbers name, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
You've got like E42964G.
The last stupid thing I'll point out. The last stupid thing I'm going to point out, just because I know I've been ranting about this for about 15 minutes now, is that there is a subplot between the Kong and this little girl that used to live on Skull Island. They have this kind of special bond, and he listens to her, and it's very sweet.
It's not an Oodle's recent sex thing, is it?
No.
You can't shag a gorilla.
No, she's like.
Have you tried?
9 years old. No, but she's deaf, and so she obviously speaks to her, the woman who's caring for her with sign language. Yeah. This woman has also been kind of having Kong under surveillance for like 10 years, trying to understand him, trying to work out how they can kind of talk to him and influence him to do, or to be like kind of compliant to the human race. Yeah. In that 10 years of constant observation, of 24/7 observation, the kid has taught Kong sign language.
Wow.
And Kong talks to the kid via sign language, and nobody has fucking noticed.
Like Mr. Tumble, like Makaton and stuff like that. That's
and
really
it's
cool. I want to watch it now.
Well, I mean, watch it by all means. Don't pay to see it, though. It's
I don't
bullshit.
intend to.
It's such bullshit.
There's already a sequel. Like talked about Song of Kong.
Is it the same Godzilla as the Bryan Cranston Godzilla?
Yeah.
King of Monsters.
Yeah.
So it's because in that original Godzilla that came out a few years back, he was like his legs were bigger than all the buildings in San Francisco. Is he still that big?
Yes, he's still big. You get to see Godzilla grin.
No, he's a lizard. Lizards can't smile.
Way.
Do you know what really annoyed me as well in this? Before we move on. I think he's not in the film much. In the first one, anyway, it's like 12 minutes of Godzilla, and in the second one, it was like it's all Godzilla. But like in those, I think especially the second one, they used his radioactive breath sparingly. In this, it is just like bang, 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 bang. Like anytime he gets chance,
it was his ultimate finishing move in the original.
But like in this, it's just like he just knocks it out all the time. I was like, it's too much. Like build up to the fire breath and whatnot. Like, build up to that. Don't just have it like all the time.
Wouldn't that just take out the gorilla straight away?
No, because he's got a special axe made of a Godzilla.
Think about it.
Which channels the energy. It's like fucking Kratos' axe in God of War.
He literally comes down with the axe above his head like that, and it's hitting the beam, and they come together like that. Like,
so,
I am now watching it just for that.
We will move on from this because I think Gadget could do a spoiler special on this.
It would just be me shouting.
Before we do move on, we don't do it very often, but I want a score from this film from Gadget. What would you rate it out of 10?
Out of 10, it would be. This is a $200 million version of the Peter Griffin chicken fight. Out of 10.
Oh wow, love it! Yeah, perfect score. That's exactly where I was thinking. So absolutely. Fantastic. So, let's move on. Biggie, take it away. What are we talking about?
Oh, shit.
Yes, we're talking about shit this week.
Wake up.
In honour of our esteemed guest, Joe at Candymachine, joins the podcast to introduce herself today. So we want to talk about her being a professional tattoo artist. And we're going to be talking body mods.
Excellent, excellent. So, if you're unaware what body modification is, it's basically the umbrella in which you alter your body willingly to look different. So, let's say you pierce your nose, you have modified your body. And Candy does this for a living, for a job. She likes to hurt people to make them look arguably better.
And they pay her for it.
Yes, they pay
Most
her.
importantly.
So, what we want to start really is your description on body modification and your thoughts on it and how you believe it clearly betters people, certain people. So, take it away, Joe.
I think you hit the nail on the head with it there in your description, but I can think of a good example in which I've been tattooing a friend for a long time, and I first met him, he didn't have very many tattoos, and actually he was quite a nervous, anxious person. And the more he was getting tattooed, I could see him sort of coming out of himself and coming out of his shell, and it's made a world of difference to him.
Yeah.
Just in his own appearance. And we've all had bad days. We think, oh God, I look like shit, and I don't want to join in with this conversation because everyone's going to look at me. And it feels the same as, a new pair of shoes or something. You just feel good about yourself sometimes when you just
Permanently change yourself.
When you permanently change yourself, or just make a small change, and it can make you feel more like yourself than the way you're supposed to look in your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those things. I was reading an article about it where, we're going to talk about the Matrix for a split second. So, in the Matrix, when they go in and they see their perfect self, don't they? They wear what they want to wear, they look how they want to look. So it's like that, isn't it? But made real.
Apart from everyone in the Matrix already looks perfect.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true. So, some of the cast members aren't modified in any way. Like, why would you put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari? So you wouldn't need to. But one of us, Stig, for instance, is highly, highly modified. Talk about your body mod, Stig, for a split second.
All of them.
Yep. Including your piercing.
I have had piercings before.
I'm on about the big one.
Oh God, no, gun, no, not putting any piercings near my junk.
Is that the name of the pod?
Yeah.
Just the big one.
I have. I guess you could technically say. I don't know. Like, would you class them as one now, though, when they're linked up, or would you class them?
It's classic. It's like a piece, isn't it? It's a full
separately.
piece.
So I've got 2 half sleeves with my forearm half done on my left arm, ready to complete that. Hopefully,
and it's all the Pokemon, isn't it?
No. I'll go through what they are in a minute. I've got a full chest piece from left to right all the way across. I have a big one on the back of my calf, and I have a little one on my left ankle.
I thought you were going to say testicle then.
No.
A big one on my left testicle.
Yeah, so
It says oodles.
Yeah, so I've got bicep, like my bicep inside on the outside, on the tricep, so all the way around my arms.
Yep.
Yeah, I have quite a lot.
What do they mean to you, mate?
Other than the chest pieces, which have like stuff to do with my daughters in.
Yeah.
I think they're cool.
They fucking look cool, yeah. That's to be honest, mate, that is the best answer. When you ask people, like, what does that even mean to you? They're just like, it just fucking looks good. You're like,
yeah.
Okay, I respect that. Absolutely.
So I've got
a completely valid reason.
It is.
The first ever tattoo I got is Yin Kazama's.
From Tekken.
Nice.
And I was 18 years old, and I've always wanted a tattoo, and I went and got Yin Kazama's tattoo.
You look a bit like Jin as well. So.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Spitting image. Unbeknownst to me at the time, I just went because I did that stupid thing of, there's a local tattoo artist. I'll just go to him. He was blind in one eye.
Nice. They're the best ones.
and smoked his cigarette out throughout the whole thing, like just chain smoke throughout the whole thing. So yeah, he didn't do a very good job. I've had that tattoo redone twice since by my regular artist now to just try and salvage it. So when I first went to him, I've always wanted to get like loads, and I randomly saw a guy with a really cool tattoo in the gym, and I said, "Where did you get that done?" And he told me where. And then since then, I've been going to a guy in York, Talisman Tattoo, Big G, ever since. He does all of my work, apart from one other piece on that the other guy there did.
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk about what they are, or
briefly? Yeah. Just or maybe your favourite.
My favourite is just a full chest piece. So that is.
I like that one as well.
One side is a. It's all very cliched shit.
It doesn't matter, mate.
It's oh no, I don't care. But when you describe it, it is. So it's all full color.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first got my right arm done, I was like, oh no, black and white with a bit of red. I don't want color. Like, I thought color would look shit. Then I got a color tattoo, and I was like, actually, I really, really like color. Like, so it is there's a rose on there, a swallow, a watch with like my daughter's time of birth on, and a band that says Amelia Rose.
So you never forget.
And then I'll gladly post these up as well so people can see them, because they look a lot better than me describing them.
That's OnlyFans material, that, pal.
Yeah, and the other side is, see, it's quite easy to do that with Amelia Rose, because a middle name is Rose. You can put Rose in there, you can put a watch and everything. My other daughter is called Calliope.
That's a bit more tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, so there isn't anything at all that links with her name in the other side.
What does the name mean?
It's a Greek name, isn't it?
It's a Greek name of
one of the goddesses.
She was a muse. Calliope was the muse to the gods.
That's it.
But when you look at, I was looking up pictures of it, all you get is like old, like
statues and stuff,
statues and paintings, and I was like, I don't want that. So because my right arm is quite Asian inspired, my chest side is as well. So there's a geisha on there, there's a lantern, there's a sun behind the mountain and all that. So it kind of links in with my right side. So my left side is quite traditional style, and my right side is like Asian inspired.
Cool.
Sounds fucking awesome.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit jealous because they look fucking brilliant.
Yeah. So no, he's great. He's great. He's a really good artist.
We'll move on to me because mine's going to be quicker. I've got lots of little silly tattoos because I'm a little silly man.
At least you're on brand.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't like getting tattooed, despite having many.
Me either.
It hurts.
I hate it, and yet I'll sit there for a full 6 hours.
See, that's the thing. I can't sit there for long, so I'll say, if it takes 15 minutes, I'll have it. So, in and out. I've never gone back to get anything finished. I've got unfinished ones. The first one I did was done with a pin. I'm not going to describe what it is so it doesn't offend anyone, but you can see it there. That was done with a pin. I nearly lost my thumb on that one because it went all gangrenous and icky. Don't self-tattoo yourself unless you're a professional.
I fully agree with that.
Because I was a fucking idiot youth. And yeah, I've got like I've got kids and stuff like that, names on, and they're all crap. They're green now. They used to be black, but they're green now. They're all green.
That's just the dragon soup soaking into your body.
Probably. But when I like up until I was like the first one, I was like, I don't want tattoos because I haven't got like any like relationship to that. I don't feel like I'm passionate about anything enough. And then a friend once said to me, "Why don't you just not make any sense with your why don't you just have tattoos that are silly?" I've got like a piece of toast on my wrist with a smiley face and stuff like that. I've got Freddy Krueger that looks like Where's Wally on my arm. I've got lots of stupid ones all over my body. And to be honest, that's just me in a nutshell. I'm stupid. I've got piercings in my lips, but I take them out. I've got what they call snake bites. I've got 2 holes, permanent holes on my bottom lip now. Nose piercing. I've got tunnels in my ears. I'm a fucking idiot. That's what describes my body modification. I've also got Wolverine claws that retract out of my knuckles, so don't fight me. That's me basically. Biggie and Gadget, you don't have any, do you?
I have one.
Oh, you have one.
Yeah.
What is it? Talk to me.
It's this one here.
It says modern
Didn't you see
escapism.
that? No, I wish. It's an L with wings. Unfortunately, it's in memory of my niece who was killed when she was 19 in a car crash.
Wow.
My brother unfortunately lost her and another girl, both born. Abby, her name was the friend. Lily was my niece. They were both born on the same day, same hospital, became friends. Unfortunately, were killed in a car crash back in 2014. My brother, she was actually quite a fan of tattoos. She had a few.
Yeah.
And she's one of those people that likes to have tattoos to represent something in her life.
Yeah.
So, as a family, everybody sort of spoke together, and somebody came up with the brilliant idea of having a tattoo to sort of show a bit of love and respect and memory.
I love that because that's an eternal memorial.
Yeah, my brother's got it. All her cousins, anyone that was in the family that wanted to get it, and it's the only one I've ever had.
Yeah.
And I love tattoos. I think they're so cool. But I just never knew what to get. I think, Stiggy, did you say you've got a Liverpool badge?
No.
Yeah.
I've got a Hillsborough Flame with Y and WA next to it. Although you can't.
Yeah, I always thought I'd do something like that one day, but yeah, it came up as a request by the family, and we thought, yeah, let's do it. But yeah, I love them. I think
it's beautiful, mate. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I don't have a single tattoo.
Would you ever consider?
So I used to toss around the idea of getting a tattoo.
You've had
when I
piercings,
was a bit
surely?
younger. Nope.
No. Wow.
Nope.
Oh, I have my ear pierced as well.
Yeah.
No, not a single modification on my body.
You don't need it. You're gorgeous anyway.
I think. No, I tossed around the idea of getting tattoos years ago, but then I could never really decide what I wanted. And I would like bat around a few ideas on what I wanted.
That's what I would like, mate.
When I think back to them now, I think, God, I would have looked like a right tosspot if I'd had them done.
Well, that Sonic the Hedgehog tattoo.
I wanted like a fucking Batman choking the Joker and shit like that.
Yeah.
And, it was really stupid shit. Just because, like, my ex, she was like really into tattoos, and a lot of her friends were into tattoos, and it was just like all this conversation, talk about them. It's just like, oh yeah, maybe I'll get this. It'll look cool. And so obviously I never did. I do want. There is one that I will consider getting in the future, and it's if I ever get down to a kind of a target weight. Like, lose my gravitational pull and that kind of thing. I kind of would like to get a bonfire from Dark Souls.
Oh, dude,
cool.
yeah.
I could do one that's a bit more mobile, thanks.
just because of obviously the representation.
It means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Just kind of rest and restart. Or saving that, because I have seen a lot of people with bonfire tattoos and they do look a little bit shit just because of how it's designed.
So you want a good one?
Well, yeah, I'd want something good.
Do you know anyone?
There is, I know a few. There is this very kind of cute, cartoony image of Solaire pouring the Estus on his
I've seen it. I've seen it. It looks cool.
And I just thought, yeah, praise the fucking sun. Why not?
Yeah, man. So if you did, it'd be Dark Souls inspired. I like when
something like that. Yeah.
When you guested on that podcast the other week, you did wax lyrical about what Dark Souls meant to you. So yeah. It means a lot.
Yeah.
Do give that podcast a listen to, by the way.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention it last week on the pod. Yeah, I guested on a podcast about mental health where I was quite candid about my struggles with mental health. It's called Look, Just Tell Me What to Do. It's hosted by a medical professional called Benjamin Russell.
Oh, beautiful.
I'll put a link to it in the description below. This is the worst plug for something I've done ever, but yeah, look in the description. There'll be a link to my episode of that. But it's not an easy listen.
No, it's not. But yeah, Candy, I'm sure you're quite modified. I mean, you've got orange hair for a start. I know
This is natural.
I've got naturally silver hair as well. So
I naturally have none.
Talk me through your journey with body modification. Where did it start? Where did this obsession start?
So I started getting. Well, I should probably not say this, but I will. I started getting tattooed when I was 16.
Ring the police.
I know. I won't say who by. It started from there. I used to get a lot of tattoos. I used to be really into metal and punk and stuff, so I get a lot of band tattoos and everything.
Yeah.
I've always been into art and everything, so getting tattooed became more about the art rather than having a logo here or a logo there, and it just kind of grew from there. I never really set out to be. I was never in school. I never thought I want to be a tattoo artist. I actually wanted to go into video game design. And for a while, that's the direction it was heading until I worked for a web design company and realised it was just not the environment for me.
Offices are awful.
Yeah, and I was
Fucking
far too
awful.
young really to be in that. I was probably mentally too young to be in that environment as well, because it's going from college straight to a really important office job, which is it just didn't suit me. So at the same time as doing this job, one of my friends said that her friend was doing an apprenticeship, and by that time I had actually looked into tattooing and I was heavily tattooed myself by that time, and pestered all the tattooists when I was getting tattooed. How do you do this? How does this work? I was probably an absolute nightmare to get, to tattoo, because if anyone's just pecking my head the entire time whilst I'm tattooing someone, it's just I need to concentrate. But anyway, regardless, I did infuriate everyone and thought, actually, this is probably where I want to go in life. This would suit me down to the ground. I'm an artist. I always have been. So I'm going to knuckle down and give it a shot and see where it takes me. And luckily, that was the career for me.
Wow, and it's led you to this podcast.
I know.
What?
I've got a question for you.
Yes.
So, at what point do you suddenly go from drawing on paper or whatever medium you use to suddenly going, here's
Skin.
my first tattoo that
Yeah.
I'm doing for somebody. How do I not fuck this up? Because it's not like you can just restart again. We can
No.
to a point. But
You can to a point. Ideally, you wouldn't. But that's down to your mentor. It's down to the person teaching you how to tattoo. If they believe that you're ready to be tattooing on people, if you fuck up, it's kind of on them. But there's, throughout an apprenticeship, apprentices normally will apprentice for about 3 years. Or certainly they used to. I think it's probably a bit different now because things have changed a little bit in terms of the equipment we use, and it's a lot easier in some ways. But at that time, it was about 3 years, and you're constantly watching your mentor tattoo. You're constantly drawing. You're setting up and setting down workstations for your mentors and the people that you work with. And it goes from having a pencil inside a tattoo machine. I used to use an old coil machine, the ones that make all the noise. And when you think of a tattoo machine, a coil machine is what you think of. So you can actually put a pencil in the tattoo machine and run the machine. So you get the weight of the machine in your hand. You draw with it. Then it goes to putting a grip and a needle in the tattoo machine and tattooing. You can get fake skin.
You can get pig skin
It's
and
not
stuff,
partic-
can't you?
You can get pig skin. Luckily, I never had to do that.
No.
I practiced on a plastic lunchbox.
amazing.
That's what there
Which,
was. But
funnily enough,
He's very proud of it.
people don't know this, but the human skin is made up of plastic lunchboxes.
that's
I've
true.
heard that.
Scientifically accurate.
So I went from a lunchbox to a lot of very trusting, very kind, generous friends who also have got a lot of body modifications themselves.
With a little
and
bit of
not-
spare skin.
Yeah, you'd be surprised when you say you're an apprentice. You want to practice tattoos. You'd be surprised the amount of people that just want a free tattoo. Firstly,
Yeah.
but also the amount of really supportive friends and family who want to get one of the first tattoos that you've done.
Yeah.
Firstly, because they want to support you and they want you to do well, but also they want a souvenir or they want a memento of one of your first tattoos and they want to carry it around with them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
thank God to my absolutely wonderful friends and family who came to see me, because there's a lot of people walking around with some terrible tattoos that I've done. That I probably had absolutely no business doing it.
None of them are
point
as
in
bad
my
as
career.
mine, don't worry.
So yeah, but you're always going to shit yourself at the first tattoo you do. The first 500 tattoos you do, they're going to be shit. There's no way around it. But it's just the same as art as well.
Yeah.
Doing art now, if you look back at your art 10 years ago, you think, fucking hell, I thought that was good.
The one that always amuses me is when a tattoo artist does an exceptional job on a shit tattoo.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
because it's a shit request.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like you know the traditional '90s thing of the tribal arms on people who have no business having tribal tattoo designs. Or I remember Pip, because for full disclosure, Pip and Candy are very good friends.
What collusion?
Collusion, indeed. Yeah, she told me about something, and you'll have to explain what this is, Candy, because it just amused the piss out of me when Pip told me about it. Beckham bum tattoos.
What?
Beckham bum clouds.
Bum clouds. Oh,
What the fuck is that?
I really don't
Is
know.
that a new
I can't even
podcast we're
picture it.
starting?
No, you know,
Beckham's
Beckham's got loads of
tattoos.
clouds around his arm, aren't they? And they look like bums.
Oh, has it?
That fashion has kind of disappeared in the last 5 years, but around, from 5 to 10 years ago, it was a huge fashion to have. It was the Beckham tattoo, you know, the black and grey clouds, cherubs, kind of angelic.
Is that kind of
figures.
thing like to make sure there's like literally no skin left on an arm? So they
See,
put like clouds in
It's
the middle.
normally used as
I
it's
don't
normally
get
used as a
that.
gap filler.
So yeah, like I said, some of my tattoos just are because I think they're cool, but
Yeah, there's nothing wrong
I
with
don't
that.
really get why you get religious based kind of tattoos if you're not religious.
No, neither do I.
For me.
Yeah.
No, but I mean like full on like angels,
Lord's Prayer on the
yeah,
arm
or
and
like
stuff.
prayers
Yeah.
or psalms and stuff.
I mean,
and it's like, you're
if
not
they had-
religious. Like,
the thing is, they might be religious. That's sometimes it's one of those
I'm
things.
not-
That, like you get a lot of Tibetan monks and that they're quite heavily tattooed with that kind of Buddhist type tattoo, and it's for that reason. It's to show that you're tattooed. Do you know what I mean?
no, I do have what Joe's talking about, this filler, like with clouds and stuff, or smoke, or whatever you want to call it, like just to fill in some gaps. Like I do have some of that.
Mm.
But yeah, the reason they were called bum clouds is if they're done badly and they don't look like clouds, it was like a perfect sort of almost you know how you'd used to draw tits in the back of your workbooks in class, you know, big pair of just domes.
Yeah.
And if these clouds are done bad, it just looks like that, and they look like upside down bums.
I can't draw for shit. So
No,
I'd
me
be
either.
great at those bums.
Do you know? I'm just looking down at the tattoo of my ankle, and I've said, "Oh, like I don't have much that means much." That one means probably the most to me on my ankle.
What does it say ankle?
No, it is a drawing of me that Amelia did.
Oh, that's cute as
Oh.
fuck.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
It is it's a blue, purple, green, yellow. Like
That's what you look like, though.
Yeah, it's a spitting image, mate. It's a blue little stick figure with a purple belly, a massive blue blue belly button,
Oh,
two
mate.
massive blue eyes, and then hair that looks like the Joker's hair. And so
Those are so cool because
Yeah.
I think I don't know if it's a new trend or not, but I think the people that have had that done, that is just such a great
I'm
idea.
Brilliant,
waiting until
innit?
Callie can draw something that looks
Oh, yeah.
good to
Mate,
put on the other
tell her to
side.
draw a mummy on the other side.
No, whatever. Like it doesn't have to be me.
No.
Like it's just something that I think looks cute
Oh,
and
that's
nice.
awesome.
And
It's a really
that'll
good
go on,
idea.
like, the other ankle, probably.
Because I used to do caricatures, but I haven't drawn for a long, long time.
Oh, please
But,
do them for us.
it used to be my passion, but when I went away, I sort of lost it, unfortunately. But yeah, I totally appreciate my own view on art, and yeah, something like that is amazing. And I love tattoos that people, particularly those that are done so well. It's just there isn't literally an art to it.
Mm.
So good.
Excellent.
talented
So,
people.
Candy, back to you. What's your favorite tattoo that's on yourself, and the best tattoo or your most preferred tattoo you've done on someone else? You don't have to tell me who, but what?
Oh god, but I don't even know what my favourite tattoo on me would be.
Because there's no space left.
Because there's no space left. But I'm a bit like you. I'm just filled up with absolute shite. Like I've got a whole leg of complete. It's my computer game leg. So I've got loads of computer game references, but I wouldn't say I've got a favourite tattoo.
Have you not got
I
like a
don't think.
Todd Howard one?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
That's going on the face.
I'll save that one till the restraining orders expire.
But what?
I've seen some of those 3D art.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Tattoos. They're incredible.
Yeah, it's all to do with it's clever shading with 3D art.
Perspective, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah,
what's
no, they do
what's
look pretty
your
good.
most favourite tattoo you've done on anyone?
I love doing anything, and it's hard to nail down just one, but I love doing pop culture tattoos. I love tattooing portraits. I love tattooing people. And it's more the subject matter, really, than the style. I love, like I said, I like doing my computer game tattoos. And
Yeah.
When somebody comes in and says, this is kind of what I want, but you have more or less free reign, there's a couple of points that I want to put in. That's just the absolute perfect customer. They have a somewhat of an idea of what they want, but they're happy to, have your opinion and happy to let you do what you want.
Yeah, because for that moment in time that you're tattooing, they're your boss, aren't they? They're paying you to do this, so they're like, you've kind of got to listen to if they've got an idea in there. Obviously you're allowed to put your own spin on it because you're an artist, and they should respect that as well. But there's a symbiosis that you've got to have in that, because it is quite an intimate moment. Like, you're scarring them for life, potentially.
Absolutely. It's absolutely a partnership, and you have to. What we say in our shop is we don't like to give out the art that we've done prior to the tattoo. We tend to draw the tattoo up and speak to them when they're in the shop one-on-one.
Yeah.
Because what you do, if you send out art beforehand, maybe set it like a week or so in advance, it doesn't become their tattoo. It becomes what their mum thinks they should get, or what their uncle thinks that should be tweaked, or their neighbour down the road thinks it would be better in this. It
stops being personal, doesn't it?
Exactly, and it's not even things people just like to not nitpick, but they like to have an opinion. They like to feel like they're involved too. So it becomes a group effort, and in the end, people end up with something that they didn't really want in the first place, but they were just trying to sort of please everyone.
Yeah, I understand that. One final grilling question. I've always been interested. Is there a difference with customers that the ones that come in and just look at those slides and go, I want that one, than the ones that have planned it completely and they've got it down to a T what they want? Because I've been that idiot that goes in and goes, I'll have that because it says £5 on it. Do you know what I mean?
I'd like to see the tattoo you got for £5.
I'll show. Oh, it's shocking. It's awful. It's that.
What is that? Oh, I can see that.
Yeah, it's shocking. And it's covered up with a wedding ring.
This works so well in an audio format.
Well, they'll have to keep
You're going
guessing.
into this one.
Check it out.
Someone's going, he's got a cock and balls there, isn't he?
Yeah, it's a little penis.
So, yeah, thanks for that. And what we're going to talk about now is body modification in media, because we like to talk about media. And we're going to start with, I believe, Gadget.
Okay, so the one I want to bring up, and I think it's probably not a controversial choice to put this one up, but is the tattoo that Kazuma Kiryu has in Yakuza, which is an absolutely enormous back piece that goes from the kind of the middle of his thighs all the way up to his shoulders.
That's beautiful.
Of a Japanese dragon holding a pearl. And it's put in there for the most unsubtle of plot reasons. I mean, for the simple thing as well, in Japanese culture, kind of tattoos tend to be looked down upon.
Criminals.
Well, yeah, because they have that association with the Yakuza and with the criminal underworld. So if someone who wants to be kind of high up in the Yakuza, I've said it both ways. I'm just going to keep changing how I pronounce that word.
It's fine.
Yeah, someone who wants to be high up in the Yakuza, they tend to, it's like they're kind of showing their commitment to the lifestyle.
To the clan.
To the clan and to the lifestyle, to have this enormous tattoo at the back.
And they're all done traditionally as well, aren't they, with needlepoint?
With needlepoint and a small hammer. And when you see the size of the tattoo, you think, wow, they've got to have been there for days. Days of their life.
It's
getting this
fucked
stuff
up.
done. But aside from anything, just the art on it is absolutely beautiful, and I think it was actually designed by a tattoo artist who, I think he actually voiced the tattoo artist in the game in the very first game when Kiryu goes to get it touched up. And there's other things I like in Yakuza 0, because that was done after Yakuza 5, and it's a prequel. You see, whenever Kiryu's got his shirt off, you see it's just the line work. It's not coloured in or anything. It's not finished because he's young, and it's just like his journey to become the Dragon of Dejima hasn't been completed yet.
That's fucking cool.
And it's just a really cool tattoo. And it then kind of counteracts with you've got his kind of pain in the arse nemesis Goro Majima. He's got a huge fear skull or something, a fear mask on his back.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of a persistent antagonist.
Like a yokai looking thing, isn't it?
Yeah, and I can't remember what the actual term is for it. And then there's Nishikiyama, who is his blood brother at the start of Yakuza 1, and then becomes his enemy, and he's got a huge koi up the back.
Yeah.
And that mirrors his story because there's the Japanese legend of the koi that swims up the river and becomes the dragon, and Nishikiyama is always constantly in Kiryu's shadow.
Yeah.
He wants to be the dragon of Tajima,
it's
and just
cool.
He can never get there. Like, it's really well written how they put these tattoos into it, and how this thing that you would think is just this kind of random character design aspect actually becomes this kind of it becomes symbolic of what happens in these wacky stories of intense drama and soap opera.
Oh, it's such a soap opera.
Oh, it is fucking brilliant. But if you have a look at just have a Google for Kiryu's tattoo, and it's absolutely phenomenal. And I think there are quite a lot of people in the world who've gotten that full back piece done, the mad bastards that they are.
Well, they've just copied it verbatim.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just up their back.
Wow.
Has the quality of tattoos got better over generations in the sense of the style of art? Because I appreciate Yakuza times, triads, etc. have gone back. Like you say, the needlepoint, the old original way to do it, I guess. Because forgive me, I don't know.
Well, apparently the needlepoint doesn't lose any of its colour at all.
But yeah, they're amazing, that sort of styles. And then, I've seen people when I used to work at sea, and they've got really crap tattoos where it's gone blue.
Mine are all green.
You just think, how on earth did that happen? You get the difference in quality. It's just...
And I think, bear in mind, I'm not a person without tattoos, but from what I've read and what I know about these things, with the Japanese ones, especially the traditional ones, it's down to the inks they use, because they tend not to use synthetic inks. It's more natural
Squid
and
inks.
traditional inks. But also, it's also just the amount of care someone puts into it. I mean, I've seen plenty of people whose arms look like oodles with just loads of little patchworks of these random little ones they've gotten for 50 quid. Like,
that's too expensive.
5 minutes sitting kind of thing, and they obviously go out in the sun. They get suntan. They don't look after the tattoos properly.
Yeah,
so they fade and they go green, or the black ink kind of starts to spread slightly. So you lose.
I've noticed as well that mine especially when it gets warm, the skin underneath it bubbles up.
Yeah.
I've
got one that does that. Just one particular ink does that.
And I'm like, oh fuck, I'm melting.
Is that Sharpies?
It might be. It's a bit like the skin's melting. It's bubbling up and getting all lumpy. It's awful. And all of mine do that.
But yeah, like I said, have a Google search for Kiryu's tattoo or play Yakuza, and you'll see it plenty of times, because whenever there's a huge dramatic moment, the camera sweeps around the back of Kiryu.
His shirt's off.
He manages to pull his shirt and his suit jacket off in one fluid
without ripping
movement,
any buttons.
Without ripping any buttons, without ruining the fabric, and he stands there all muscly and tattooed, and he's just like
me.
Yeah!
He is an Adonis. He is a beautiful man. So excellent.
Kiryu is peak man.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, Biggie, sorry, mate. I keep.
Why do you keep mixing this up?
Yeah, he did what I did the other week.
I mean, I know the hair and stuff, but he's got a massive beard. I've got a pretend beard. I mean, I don't even know what's going on.
That's Gadget's body mod. He's grown a beard.
I also don't have Biggie's raw sexual energy.
That's true. Well, you're not far off, mate. But yeah, Biggie.
You can't duplicate that.
Do you want to talk about?
Can you?
I just put a few suggestions here because, again, I don't know an awful lot. But I wanted to give a shout out to a character in a pretty mediocre movie, but I thought the character itself was really cool.
Okay.
And he's literally called Tattoo, and it's in the Elektra movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought for mutant powers, assume he was a mutant.
Yes.
That he made his tattoos on his body come out and start attacking Elektra, which I just thought, how fucking cool did that look?
It's not a good film, though, is it?
Movie. It is not.
I never watched that one.
I just thought what a great idea that was.
That's how Joe handles a fight on a Friday night.
Yeah.
Sets her tattoos on
fires
shafts.
ink at people.
That's one of the things that was going through Facebook is if you had to go into a fight with only the tattoos on your body, how well would you do? Like, what have you got on you that could help in a fight?
Piece of toast.
I've got a font.
A drawing of me. That's the next.
That's enough, mate. That's enough.
A weird little blue man that's probably frightened people off. And actually, I have a massive tiger and a snake on my arm.
That'll do.
Oh, he would win.
That'll do.
No problem.
I wanted to give a shout out to Agent 47, because
Barcode.
you know you're going to scan that motherfucker on the back of his head to the barcode battler, because that's what you want in a fight.
Why haven't you two bald gentlemen or follically challenged gentlemen?
Fuck off.
Why don't you have a barcode on the back of your head? Because I would if I were bald.
Because my folds of fat would cover
I'd have it to be something like a Tesco meal deal or something. It scans up.
Every time I walk in with a case of cider, they just scan the back of my head.
Yeah.
Walk out with the meal deal.
It'd probably be dragon soup, to be honest, if it were me.
I want to give out a shout out to Kratos, because he's got that beautiful red.
Yeah, the war banner thing that he has, the Spartan. Yeah, that's really cool. And I like on the newer God of War how much it's faded because he's thousands of years old.
Yep.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah, it looks really
he also
cool,
has
but
the
it's
unfortunate modification of the ashes of his once fallen family
That's just a bit
put
unfortunate.
onto his skin.
Don't people get ashes tattooed into them?
Yes, they do. Yeah,
They do,
I've seen
yeah,
that.
they do.
Yeah,
But,
it can be done.
that's what-
It's weird.
It's not something I
It's
do.
not weird. It could be
People do.
sentimental and beautiful. You never know.
Solid judgment of Sting there. Fucking weirdos. Mourning
The
their
last
family in their
two-
own way.
I know.
The last two I wanted to mention, which is a slightly different direction,
Snort instead.
was Heath Ledger's Joker, because he obviously had that scar
Scarring,
across
yeah,
his mouth,
yeah.
which looked incredible for his character. That was for makeup. That
And he also lied
Heath
about how he
Ledger
got it
is-
every single time.
he's superb in that movie anyway. But
Yeah.
just having that scar just obviously added to his character. is superb.
Isn't also with Heath Ledger's Joker like the red and white makeup that is actually tattooed to his face, and like when you see him, there's a sequence in The Dark Knight where he's kind of in disguise as a policeman.
Yeah, he's got
and
foundation on.
Yeah, he's wearing foundation.
Yeah,
and
'cause
so
it
you
rubs
see,
off.
it rubs off, and it's the white underneath.
Yeah.
And I quite like that detail that he's kind of
Fucking
tattooed
cool.
his whole face.
Yeah, well, when Jared Leto got Joker's got tattoos, people kicked off. But now
Because they look
Heath
shit.
Ledger's tattoo, oh, that's all right.
Don't be on
Yeah, they
team
did look shit.
Leto now.
Oh,
I mean, I was really.
How do you know he's
disappointed by-
damaged? Says it on his head.
Exactly, yeah. I was really disappointed in Justice League that he didn't have the tattoos, because how would I know he's damaged?
Yeah, speaking of that, so Joe, you've tattooed people. Could you imagine tattooing a homicidal maniac that can't sit still for 2 seconds?
I mean, I don't know that I haven't yet.
That's true. That's true. I couldn't picture the Joker sitting down and being patient about that. So,
No, that tattoo has definitely died.
yeah, absolutely.
And the last final one I wanted to shout out was the biggest modifier of all that I could think of was Adam Jensen in Deus Ex.
Oh.
Who goes all out with tattoos on his
He
face
doesn't really
as well as body
He
mods.
doesn't have a choice, does he, really?
I was going to say, he's not given the choice now. That's part of his character motivation after that opening, where he's like, I didn't choose this.
Yeah, I've got no legs anymore.
But he still looks cool.
He does. And blades come out of his arms and stuff like that. And
It's the implanted sunglasses. That's what everybody
Yes.
needs.
yes, it's so good. I wonder if, like, with the implanted sunglasses that he got, because if you don't know, he's got, like, the frames at the side of his eyes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to blink or anything. They just come at will. So I wonder if it's, like, fused to his synapses, to his brain, like, close, open, close, open. I don't...
I thought his beard was tattooed.
I think the sunglasses are like those transitions lenses that normal glasses wearers can get, and they obviously like work clearly as badly as them. It's just like you just get a little bit of light shining in your room.
Yeah.
Glasses closed. It's like, fuck's sake, man.
Yeah, my mate, speaking at cinema earlier, my mate's got them transitions, and he went to cinema, and do you know how bright the screen can be? And I looked to the right of him, and he's got sunglasses on. I'm like, fucking hell, dude.
And that's why whenever anybody asks me why don't you get transitions glasses, I'm like, that's exactly why.
play too many games.
Go to play too many games. Like to go to the cinema. I don't want my vision to suddenly darken in a bright scene. Like, oh no, it's the end. Oh wait, no, it's just my glasses.
Excellent. So we'll jump over to me.
One final one.
Sorry.
If depending on the success of Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep, I would love to have Cowboy tattooed on me by the maker.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
I would be so honoured to do that. That would be amazing.
Yes, because
Because your artwork
if
was
you're unaware,
superb.
Candymachine Jo, she designed the art for our podcast that you listen to now, our character art for Scorched Sheep, and basically, she's the art. She makes us look good.
Yeah, I make you sound good.
yeah.
She makes you look good.
Yeah, exactly. It's
I'm exempt from that.
oh yeah, yours was just it's instinct, mate. You can't stop that. So yeah, we'll jump over to me because mine's a really quick one. Mine's more cybernetics because it is still body modification, and it goes to the actual boy that became one of the most hated gaming protagonists in the world to one of the most lauded and cool as fuck. It's Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. Now, in Metal Gear Solid 2, nobody liked him. By Metal Gear Solid 4 and his own subsequent game, Rising Revengeance, he's a cool motherfucker. He's got stilettos on with swords that come out of his actual foot. It's completely metal. He's got a jaw that's been fixed onto him, like a cybernetic jaw. I don't know what that's doing. It might make him sound better. He's got incredible claws on his hands. He's got ultra fast instincts because of his cybernetic motors in his elbows and stuff like that. And he can, due to his cybernetic enhancement, he can charge his blade with high frequency electric to make it cut almost anything. He's just an absolute fucking badass. Are you guys familiar with Raiden?
Yes, very familiar.
AKA
It's a
Jack.
point now that he is a machine.
He's a cyborg.
It's not human.
He's got a
anymore,
human
really, is
brain.
it? Yeah.
There is a joke in Metal Gear Rising where one of them talks about him urinating and he says, "I don't need to urinate," because he's got no fucking balls. He's got no lower half.
He's got no bladder.
I don't know where wee comes out.
His appearance just threw everybody playing that game. Just that no one had any idea.
It was Metal Gear
playing
Solid 4 that we
for
first
so
saw
long.
the Cyber Ninja Raiden, and he has that little dance with Vamp, and it's still one of the best choreographed fight scenes in gaming, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the campest.
Oh, it's
Yes,
camp.
yes.
Oh, it's beautifully camp. We've got Vamp there that just absolutely enjoys it. And Raiden's like unleashing. He's stood on his chest. He's stamping into his chest with stiletto heels. It's so good. But yeah, I like that side of it. And I believe humanity is going to get to a stage, not like that, but to the point where like cybernetic augmentation is going to be a thing. There's that guy in Sweden or in Norway that's got an antenna fused to his skull so he can pick up, is it violet rays or something like that? Ultraviolet frequencies. Now, he can't see it any different, but he can feel it vibrates. So it basically knows when there's... Yeah, it's so weird. I can't explain it, but if you search for it, he's got an antenna etched to his skull.
So are you expecting that we're all going to be living the Cyberpunk 2077 lifestyle?
It'd probably work, unlike that game.
I wonder if you get Wi-Fi off him if you're near him.
Yeah, it's something. It was on a podcast I listened to, and it's like it vibrates like to like a micro, so only he can feel it because it's in his skull. And yeah, it's so fucking weird. But yeah, obviously there's cybernetics that can help people nowadays, where people can hear and stuff and see. They're doing some crazy stuff with it. So I'm looking forward to that future. I'll be long dead, but it doesn't matter. So, Stig.
I mean, that future's coming in 5 years' time, so yeah,
I'll be long dead. I'll be long dead. I need a cybernetic liver.
You keep drinking that soup.
The soup is keeping me alive. That's what the doctors told me. Stig, so you've already told us about your love for Tekken.
Yeah, actually, I just want to touch on because I think Candy's got a few of as well, like tattoos from media as well, rather than like in media. So I have obviously my Yin Kazama tattoo, which I'm sure plenty of other people. In fact, I have bumped into someone with it.
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen it in the wild, mate.
Literally, when I was on holiday in Mexico, I was in the buffet getting my breakfast, and this guy came up to me, like just walked past me. And
he went, "Round one."
No, he just went. He just pointed. He went Tekken right, and then showed me his arm. And I was like,
"You should have gone." No, Tekken 3 actually.
Yeah, but yeah, I am so glad I got stuff around it now. It just looks shit, just sat there on my arm like on its own. But I also have an Alexis on Fire tattoo. One of some of their artwork from one of their albums. I have around that. I've got all this polka trash. Is it polka trash? Yeah.
Trash poker. Yeah.
Yeah, trash polka style. So I've got that. I've got Deathly Hallows and a symbol from my Three Worlds novels.
Oh yeah,
all, like,
yeah.
Together down there.
Nice.
So yeah, I've just wanted to touch on them for a second as well. Really, like the tattoos that I've got that I've kind of copied from media.
Lovingly, though, that's the thing. It's like an admiration thing, not just because it looks cool, but because it means something.
Yeah, I'm glad that I got. Well, the Deathly Hallows, I'm glad that I've got that rather than anything else.
I was going to say, how do people feel about having Harry Potter tattoos?
He fucking loves it.
Now,
Fine.
well, just yeah.
Like,
I suppose like that thing is like all those people that named their daughters Daenerys.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I don't know if you do or not, Joe. So I apologise for this, but I wouldn't get someone's face tattooed on me because you never know what kind of horrible shit they might say or do later in life.
Yeah.
And a symbol is a lot easier to hide than somebody's face. So
it's different when people get face tattoos of like people renowned that have died because they're not going to change.
Oh yeah, like I don't mean it like that. I mean like someone who's still alive that you kind of class as a hero and then turn around to be
like I'm glad I got rid of that Kevin Spacey tattoo on my back.
Because when I was younger, I used to think people that had gaming symbols, like the is it the Triforce from Zelda?
Mm.
I used to think, oh, you fucking dicks, why have you got that on? But it actually means something to them that they've gone and done that. So that was my naivety back then. I was just kind of like, the fuck are you doing? But now I get it. That it means something for people to do.
It's deeper, isn't it, than just...
Yes.
It's a cliche, but it's deeper than skin deep. Oof, I did it.
Oh,
fuck.
Get it. Fuck. We're off the podcast.
Get away.
But in terms of body mods and tattoos and that from films and TV and whatnot, I've got a couple here that I really like the use of.
Yeah.
I really liked the use of it, even though they're obviously not great tattoos, but the use of tattoos in Memento.
Yes. Yeah.
The guy can't remember anything for longer than 15 minutes, so writing stuff down on a notepad is no good because if he loses the notepad, he's done for. So to try and figure out what's going on, he tattoos reminders on his body. So he's constantly trying to remember something by the use of tattoos on his body. I thought it was really well done use of a different use for tattoos and stuff.
The Brooklyn Nine-Nine parody of that is so funny as well.
I genuinely can't remember that, to be honest.
It's Adrian Pimento's losing his mind, memory and resetting every couple of hours. So he's tattooing things on to remind him like someone's trying to kill me and stuff like that. But then also a shopping list.
Yeah, well,
inside his stomach.
Well, yeah.
And this, you could call these body mods, but they're done more for the shock horror. I think the Cenobites are fucking incredible.
I thought you were going to say the human centipede.
Yeah.
No, I did. I was going to say the human centipede as a joke.
Body mod.
No, the Cenobites. The modifications that they do for them.
It's like sadomasochism type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's all...
The one that's got a CD in its neck and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's just...
I was going to say,
that's just
movies
ridiculous.
As they got on, they just got worse.
They got ridiculous on what they could do.
One of them's
Pinhead.
a big camera, isn't it? Like a camcorder.
Yeah. Like Pinhead looks incredible, and the woman
so iconic
as well that's got like the neck split open with the huge
I will tear your soul
semicircle
apart.
like wire thing in.
I should probably see those films at some point. I haven't seen them.
The first three, absolutely.
The first one especially. But I did have a stupid ones. I had this. I've just got it all over my phone, my screen here, on the ones that I've picked out. It is the stupidest joke, but at the time it made me laugh a lot. But now it's not so much. But the dude and the sweet tattoo.
Yeah.
What does mine say? Dude! What does mine say? Sweet. They're idiots, so they think they're just going, dude, that's sweet and everything, but it's just literally, one's got dude on his back, one's got sweet on his back, and they just say it, dude and sweet. And actually, my wife has sweet on her ankle, and her friend has dude on hers.
Oh, so when they meet up, they do it all the time.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's a stupid one. She said she just wanted a stupid tattoo, so she was like, "Oh, what can they get?" So they got dude and sweet on their leg one day. But I don't really know, really, because I don't think there's anything in media that I can think off the top of my head that I think is like really cool that I would copy.
Would you not want to be cybernetic in any way? Would you not like an enhancement?
Yeah, if it stopped me from like constantly aching. That would be quite nice. Something that you could stop hangovers would be amazing. I would
Water.
modify my body for an instant hangover kill switch.
That'd be cool. That would be cool, mate. That would be
Just have a body mod to stop middle-aged aches.
I like the one that they had on TCGS. They were talking about like in the future if you had like upgrades and stuff. And one of them said having a sat nav in your vision.
Have you never heard of
was on shit with
Google Glass?
directions. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've seen that one. But I mean, literally, it's just only you can obviously see it inside your head.
Imagine if you lost reception halfway through.
I think I'd hate to have a hood. Like,
yeah, I would.
it'd be awful. Just like shit everywhere.
And you show your own HP on it. I'm like, fucking hell, I'm having a bad day. Look, I've got one life left.
There was just
when one of you insults me about my age, it'll just come up. Biggie will remember that.
Actually, I've just thought of something that I would copy, and I always thought that I might do this. Which is kind of linked to media because it's an artist, it's a singer. Brandon Boyd from Incubus.
Yeah,
I really love Brandon Boyd's art, and there's one of it's like a woman's face. It kind of has all this like shit kind of floating from the back of her head. Like, I'm very tempted to get that.
Yeah, it's pretty
on this other side of my arm. Because I just really, really, really like it. And it's kind of one of those ones where, yes, I am copying someone's art, but I feel like enough people probably don't know what it is that I could get away with.
They're also
having it
kick-ass band as well. So
yeah. Oh, and I do want. I want on my other arm. I'm going to get Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, you do love
Studio
Ghibli, don't you? So yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Candy, media.
So my favorite. It's not necessarily my favorite tattoo, but it's my favorite tattoo reveal. It's from the film Red Dragon, which is a fairly old film and a much older book.
Yes.
And do you remember the Tooth Fairy? I can't remember
Ray Fiennes, isn't it?
Name. Ray Fiennes plays it.
Francis Dollarhide. That's his name.
Dollarhide. Yes, that's right.
Good memory.
Cool.
He's got Freddie Lowndes tied up, and he reveals his tattoo on his back.
I am the Red Dragon.
The way he takes his shirt off, and it's just the way he moves his body, and it looks like the tattoo is just kind of rippling up his back.
How
and
much
it looks
in
like
good shape is Ray
just...
Fiennes in that film? He looks
incredible. Yeah, amazing. And it just really looks like the tattoo's actually alive on him, and it's based on an actual piece of artwork by William Blake, who was commissioned to do a bunch of paintings, a series, I think, of maybe 100 or so paintings for the Bible and the Great Red Dragons from the Book of Revelations. I think that particular painting is called.
This one, what you did one called the Leviathan. I can't remember what that one is though.
Yeah, the one the film's based on is called the Great Red Dragon and the Woman Clothed in Sun.
That's it. Yeah, because it's like a body mix into. You can see both forms mixed up. Oh, it's so fucking cool. And then he ends up eating that book as well.
That's right. Yeah,
he eats it.
The dragon.
Yeah, that's an absolute fucking badass one. Yeah, I love that. Any more? Any honourable mentions?
I want to mention the football ones.
Yeah.
Where if you get a tattoo done and your team doesn't win the final that you thought they would do.
Why do people do that? Why?
The World Cup one a couple of years
ago. They get the dates.
Yeah.
They get the date underneath. Cup winners.
Yep.
The Man City one. Someone got like Champions League winners, like when they came into the money, like 08, 09, it's like, yeah, mate, like you only just got to your first final. It's taken you like 12 years since you got your money. Like, don't do that. Don't do it.
No.
Yeah, there was that lad at the last World Cup when England were doing well, and he got like England World Cup winners like 1966, and then
the
2018, 2018 written underneath it. It's like, yeah, they were in the quarterfinals at the time. They weren't anywhere near the final.
That's dedication to a stupid degree. Why didn't the tattoo artist say, no, I'm not doing that? But then again, he probably got it done at a seaside town, just like on the beach by one of those £10 tattooists.
The ones you get in Magaluf or
Benidorm.
Yeah, my friend got one done in Magaluf.
He's lost his arm now.
You see them on the likes of like tattoo fixers and stuff like that, or just Tattoo of Us or whatever it is. Like the shit people will get on their bodies.
A big cock.
Actually, it worked out for our benefit in the end because he got this tattoo, and our friend said, "If I see you in that tattoo shop tonight, I'm going to get my name on your ass. I'm going to force you to get my name. Sure enough, for no reason whatsoever, he's walking past. There's my friend in the tattoo shop again. The second night, he marches in and he's like, "Right, how much for you to put my name on his ass?" It's like €40. Bang, just give you €40. And then my other friend's walking past. He's like, "What's going on here?" He goes, "I'll get him my name on his ass because I told him he was going to do it." And he went, how much was it? It's like €40. He's like, so he pulled up €40 and goes, "I'll give you this to put my name on his other cheek." So he's got.
I'd have made it even worse by doing it in Comic Sans.
Ooh.
No, I think it's in just a normal like italic kind of standard
old English
writing
stuff.
No, just kind of like italic writing. But it was the next morning. It's like, shows your tattoos, then I pulled his trousers down in there on both ass cheeks. And he was like, "You're the tightest bastard ever. I can't believe you paid for that." He goes, "For that, like, I was glad I couldn't give him my money away quick enough."
Mate, I don't even know if I'd have walked past and gone, "Can I have my name on it for €40 as well?"
See, when I got drunk in Iron Apple and did this, I made sure it wasn't a tattoo, it was piercings, because then I could take them out.
Yeah.
So the first time in Iron Apple, I came back with a eyebrow piercing.
Cool guy. What a cool guy.
Very long. Like, it started to fall a bit. I just got, like, pissed me off. And it gets cooler, Oodles. Next time I came back, I had 2 ears pierced with those little diamond earrings.
Yeah,
like proper Beckham style.
Yeah.
Early. So what we're learning from this podcast is you shouldn't be allowed to drink.
Yeah.
No.
I think we learned that months ago.
They came out like almost instantly. My mum hates tattoos.
The best thing about piercings, especially like I've got permanent scars under my lip, but you can only see it when I make that silly face. But my ears,
you can't see mine anymore.
I stretch my ears, and they're not stretched to a stupid degree, so this would potentially just heal. But tattoos, I know nowadays is laser surgery and cover ups and stuff like that, but it's not the forever that you thought it was. But still, I've heard that laser stuff really fucking hurts, like worse than the actual tattoo. So,
you are scorching your skin to get rid of pigment in it. I can't imagine it's the most comfortable thing.
Yeah.
Well, even having a tattoo done, I mean, I know Stiggy and Joe can obviously explain probably different parts of the body where it hurts, but mine just felt like the only way I could describe it was like a scraping hot fork. When I had mine done in my arm, but I know different parts of the body have very different reactions.
Don't do it with a pin and a lighter on your thumb.
The chest is horrendous. I hated it.
Yeah.
When he finally finished my chest piece, I was like, thank fuck, I never have to get.
Is that because like there's more bone there? Like you've got your fucking rib cage.
I don't know. When it's tattooing on your collarbone, that's the worst because it's
imagine. Fucking
it's just
hell.
hitting bone and it vibrates up through your neck. It feels like somebody's strangling you. It was awful. I hated it. And then the rest of the chest is just soft in places. Oh, God.
So why haven't you had them finished? Because you said you've got unfinished. Because that's the thing I don't understand when people have tattoos done. They have like the base done, and then they go, I need to get that
time,
finished.
mainly, isn't it?
Yeah, how long do you wait? Why do people wait?
Also, the thing that shall not be named on this podcast happened. So
yes. Yes.
That's basically why I haven't got it finished.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I got it coloured. I did my. Well, also it's time as well. Like you literally.
Yeah, you ain't got time to do it.
400, 500 quid, whatever you pay for a full day session.
I don't know how much it is.
You look at, say, like the tiger on my arm. That's had 2 sessions on it, and it's still not done because by the time we like designed it all and did all the outline work and everything, then it's pretty much done for the day. It took like just the outline work takes ages just to make sure it's all right.
What's the longest session you've done then, Joe? Like to tattoo somebody when you're sitting there concentrating?
The longest I do is a day sitting, so that would be tattooing from about 10 to normally about 4:30.
Wow.
Generally, by about 3:30, people are really starting to want to go home.
Well, they get tired and fatigued, don't they, while you're doing it? Like
it lasts that long. I want to go home straight away.
Plus, I get knackered as well.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be sitting like hunched over for more than 8 hours. Really.
No, of course not.
What's your thoughts on numbing cream?
Don't do it.
Does it work?
Why?
It does work, but actually, it works for about 50. If you're lucky. So you put it on about 15 minutes beforehand. You'll have it about an hour or two's worth of tattooing. And where you've built up that adrenaline, and your body's been used to sort of not fighting it, but getting used to the pain. That will all hit you as quickly as you put the numbing cream on.
Yep.
So you can go into shock. It's really bad. Not to mention, it actually makes it really difficult to tattoo the skin. It makes it sort of
too soft,
almost a bit rubbery. Yeah, a bit rubbery, and you have to work twice as hard to get it in. And you never want more chemicals than necessary mixing with ink.
No.
So the least we can put into you in terms of your skin, the better.
Cool.
Because anything extra you put in, it'll affect the healing.
Not gonna
So
lie,
you're better off just
I've
not
used
doing
numbing
it.
cream when I went back and got my chest done.
I didn't know it was a thing.
Because I was like, I just can't handle this. I've got a full day session. It was amazing. It was amazing for that first 2 hours. When he started, and he's probably annoyed if it does cause issues for the artist to stretch your skin and whatnot, but I could have fallen asleep.
Wow.
Genuinely just lying there, and I was like,
Wow.
can't feel a thing.
Wow.
And then did it hit you like a brick wall?
Well, yeah, about 2 hours in, it just.
Ah!
So I won't use it again. But I did enjoy that first couple of hours. I was like, why can't it always be like this? It's just there's parts of that as well when he was doing my chest and he went to link it into my shoulder, and I couldn't this was without numbing cream, but it was because it's a different type of part of the body. I couldn't even feel it. I was just like, that feels amazing, because this part of my body's in pain, and he's just linking it to my shoulder, and that part of my body I couldn't feel it. And I was like, yeah, it's like, stay over there, don't come back over here.
And after I'd been done the healing process, I loved using that coconut butter stuff. I just smelt lovely.
I never did any of that.
Well,
That's
more
why mine
lovely
are
than
terrible
normal.
still. Which is an idiot.
The ones that always amuse me is just when someone has been quite has done the holiday thing where they've been drinking quite heavily, then got a tattoo. And he's like, your blood's going to be really fucking thin if you have that full of
Start
alcohol.
bleeding.
How is that going to?
Yeah.
Also, you're not meant to go in chlorinated pools and stuff
Odd.
Yeah.
while it's healing. And you
Or
see
sit in the
plenty
sun, or-
plenty of people get tattoos, and the next day they're in the pool, and I'm just like, that's just gonna come out shit or infected. So
Well,
don't get a tattoo when you're on holiday.
excellent. On that, I've got one final bit of questioning for Joe before we move on to the bulging mail sack. Have you got any tips for people that are curious about getting their first modification, Joe? Any pre-game tips for people?
So always research your artist.
Yep.
Of course, any artist will have either a portfolio in their studio or more commonly now Instagram.
Yep.
And also see the work that they've had, see it in the flesh, because it's very easy to use a filter on Instagram and Photoshop. So the more tattoos of that artist you've seen done healed, the better. In terms of going for your first tattoo, so once you're booked in, you go into your appointment. Don't drink the night before. Have a good night's sleep if you can. Obviously, you're excited about the tattoo or nervous. It can be quite difficult. But try and get a good night's sleep. Drink plenty of water. Have a good breakfast. And always if you're going for a long sitting, always take something to eat during the
Take some
appointment.
Lucozade.
Lucozade.
Or something
I always
sugary, but
big bottle of Lucozade.
Yeah. Something nice and sugary, but with not too much caffeine in, because the caffeine will just make you jump all over the place.
Yeah, and don't think that if you faint, they'll continue to do the tattoo and you'll wake up with a lovely piece. They will stop and tell you to go home.
We take photos first.
Yeah.
Naturally.
And
Look at this one. We got another one.
and just be sure. I think that's the ultimate. Not just tattoos, like piercings and everything. Just be 100% sure that that's what you want, especially certain piercings, because, like I say, if you're stretching your ear and stuff like I have, sometimes the further you stretch, the more permanent it becomes. So, yeah, just make sure, as a disclaimer from this podcast, make sure you're ready. And you're old enough, unlike Joe was. Make sure you're old.
Sorry about that.
Make sure you're old enough. So, yeah, we'll move on to the bulging modified mail sack. That is Gadget's mailbag.
Well, it is a bulging mail sack this week, and we're starting off with a new listener. Someone who we want to keep happy because he might have stories about oodles.
He definitely does.
Mr. Bobby Wayne. He's come in saying, bit outside what most people may think, but a historic form of body modification was foot wrapping, used by geishas. A practice of breaking and wrapping the feet to make them appear as small as possible, as it was a mark of beauty. It was only outlawed in 1911, and there are reportedly people still alive that experienced it and lived with the effects.
I
blew my mind, really.
I didn't know about this until he mentioned that in his Discord, and I was like, fucking hell, that's super body modification. That is changing the structure of your feet, and some of it looks horrendous. I'm sorry for judging all the foot-wrapped people that are listening to this, but it's frightening. Like, they've gone from like size 6 feet to size 2 in a year. It's fucking It's I don't know how that can be any fun or beautiful. I know it's a different culture's form of beauty, but I wouldn't want to be kicking about in my football shoes with tiny little size 2s. So
when I read that, the first thing I thought of, unfortunately, was the Hoblin in Misery.
Oh God, that's not really his choice. He's tied to a bed.
I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's ugh.
Oh yeah, Bobby Wayne coming in strong for his first correspondence with
a beauty.
X-Ben Blaster X has said, "Hey fellas, I think some of my favourite tattoos in a short film ever has got to be the full body tattoo on Michael Schofield in Prison Break."
Oh God, we've talked about this tattoo so much.
Yeah.
What a genius idea! So cool, and a great twist on when it was fully revealed. That first season was a great watch. Sadly, the show plummeted off a cliff in terms of quality after that first season. The full body tat though, bit cheesy, bit hokey, infinitely cool though. I mean, the thing is, from a concept,
didn't you get a full cover up as well?
No. So season 4, and we have been through this before. Because I had a good rant about this, like quite early on the podcast. Yeah. But in season 3, there was no need for the tattoo. Like the tattoo is used in season 2 as well.
Broke out of the prison.
Yeah, after they broke out of the prison, we had stuff about like their escape and stuff like that in his tattoo. The third season, they were in a different prison. Obviously, the tattoo's not relevant. To avoid having to put him through the makeup every time, he was in a really hot country, but wearing long sleeve t-shirts all the time.
It's ridiculous.
And it's like the 3rd or 4th episode of the 4th season where they're back in America, and they're like working for the feds or some stupid bullshit like that in that program. He undergoes a full day and night of laser tattoo removal.
How is he not like a
sitting.
walking crisp after that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing, because like in the next episode you see him like with his shirt off.
Gorgeous.
It's like perfect smooth white skin. It's just like, no, he would be a crisp. Yeah. He would be scarred, and it would look awful. And he'd be like
Freddy Krueger.
You'd have shadows of like the main like outlines on there. It's just like, no, you can't do that in a day and night.
Also, it takes like several sessions of going there.
And this was like 15 years ago, before the technology is as advanced as it is now, which is not perfect now.
Yeah. It is worth watching that whole sequence when he gets the tattoo removed, because it's made to look so dramatic, and like he's really suffering for the sake of his friends and his brother, and it's just like, oh, it's such bullshit.
Joe, have you had to tattoo any plans or heists on people's bodies?
Strangely, I haven't.
Oh.
It's surprising, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, I haven't. Not
So
yet.
no one's come in for like the blueprints of a
casino.
Barclays down in the town centre on the chest or something like that.
Most people headed to prison don't have time to book in with me.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I was going to say the plan nearly failed first of all when they had the new wing put in the prison in cell block H.
Oh well, fair enough.
Yeah, that was just such a. I mean, the thing is, the first season of that show was great, but it's such a stupid concept.
Stop bringing Prison Break up.
Ben goes on to ask, so with the news that Jeff Goldblum has recently taken to D&D podcasting in the second season of Dark Dice, and on the eve of our own D&D show coming, I thought I'd ask you guys. Hang on, he's asking us questions. That's not right. But he's asking us if we could play D&D with any celebrity, who would it be?
Great question. We'll start with you, Joe, because I know the answer.
Jeff Goldblum.
I thought you were going to say Todd Howard.
Oh, I should have done. No, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, that would be cool. Gadget?
For me, to be honest, it would probably be Matt Mercer, so I could just sit there in the corner and just geek out on him.
Matt, you'd be like, Matt, can I just kiss you? It's part of my character's arc.
I mean, to be fair, I have the world's biggest crush on Matt Mercer. Yeah. I think he's amazing.
Can I just give you a little character kiss?
I mean, if you look at him, he's a beautiful man.
He's a good-looking bloke. He is.
Yeah, and he's incredibly talented. And
yeah, absolutely. So, Biggie?
Probably Sir Ian McKellen.
Oh,
Oh, he'd be a good D&D one.
Oh, he'd arrive precisely when he means to as well.
Can we just say, every time we go around the corner, run you fools or something?
Fly,
just
you
to keep
fools.
saying it.
The thing is, I actually, to be fair, I think he would be the worst person to be in a party with, because you think back to the Balrog, he told the party to run, he killed the boss, got all the XP, and he leveled up ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stig?
And got the loot.
Matt Berry.
Oh,
He's
wonderful.
hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be so
it'd
good.
just be. I was just trying to think. I was like, who the fuck could I choose? And because I've got my Jackie Daytona poster on the wall, I was like, fucking yeah, Matt Berry would
that'd be
amazing
incredible. That'd be brilliant.
And he, of course, would just be playing Matt Berry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just
That is the character.
just do the Matt Berry voice.
Yeah.
So,
He's got range.
Yeah.
Singular range. But,
And I'd
but you'll put the toothpick in his mouth and he's a different person.
yeah, exactly.
I'd want to do it with Doug Cockle, the voice of Geralt of Rivia, so he could just pretend to be Geralt. And I'd,
What about not Henry Cavill?
no, Doug Cockle, the OG.
I thought you were going with David Hayter, actually.
I've already done it with him. He didn't. It kept going. It kept going. D&D.
you just want Doug Cockle to sit there and go, wind's howling.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. In fact, I just get it bath.
Take that, you filth.
Get it bath together, and it'd be like, I hate it when you do that. And that kind of, oh god, it'd be so good. Even though he looks nothing like Geralt in real life, but he sounds
he's
like him.
short. He's like short and bald.
Yeah. But he sounds like him, and that's the main thing. When I close my eyes, Doug, embrace me while we play D&D.
Fucking hell. Nimrod Hicks is coming with Dear Mildly Exciting.
It needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped.
When I moved out at 18 years old in the early 90s, I sublet a room from my punk pal Grace. Her boyfriend Ruben. It's always a bad thing when the boyfriend's called Ruben.
Such a punk name as well.
Yeah.
That was on our shortlist for boys' names.
Her boyfriend Ruben had amongst many tats a snake running like a Mohican down the centre of his head.
Nice.
He also did his own Prince Albert and give himself a branding.
Fucking hell.
This was all training for what became for both of them a very successful tattoo shop and body mod studio. This was at the beginnings of the modern tattoo revolution in the UK when modding was starting to explode. I, at the time, had 12 rings through my left ear, which I finally stretched out to a 6mm flesh tunnel, which I've worn ever since.
Yeah, I've got 6 mil.
Back then it was unusual and cool, but now I look like an old guy trying too hard.
Same.
My pleas of, I had mine before they were popular, still fall on deaf ears. Oh, and please watch We Are Lady Parts on Channel 4 and All 4. Cracking little show.
Okay, absolutely. I'll write that one down.
My friend, I don't see him much these days, but someone I grew up on the street with, he's got Prince Albert. I don't know whether he's taken it out now.
I hear
but
a lot of them have to sit down to have a wee.
No, he was just there, like he was there taking a piss one night when we were out, and
He splits off like a cobra.
no, it does. And no, just a random lad for some reason. We're obviously looking. He's
You
looked down,
don't.
and he was just like, he's like, what the fuck? And he was just this random lad in the toilet was just like wanting to see his.
Well, if
He's
you get it
Prince Albert.
done, he shouldn't be too rude for him to go, yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's just this guy was just like really obsessed with it, wanting to look at his.
I think it's extremely brave.
And lastly in the mailbag, Ray has come in, and we always love it when Ray emails in.
Mm-hmm.
He's come in saying, hi, Modern Escapism. My favourite fictional tattoo art is from the Yakuza game series, the leaping crimson koi carp image of Nishikiyama. Traditional Japanese tattoos are famous for imbuing meaning and symbolism in their designs. Carps happen to play a role in legend. Their story said that there were two mountains on each side of the Yellow River forming a narrow waterway with vicious currents. People called this place the Dragon's Gate because every year thousands of red carps fight against the currents to swim upstream wishing to leap over the gate. If successful, fire from heaven will burn off the carp's tail and turn it into a dragon. However, only the strongest carp can ascend. The weaker ones will only be washed away by the river. It almost sums up the life story of Nishikiyama, the bearer of the carp. Torn between the ambition of climbing the Yakuza ladder and the love for his brother, Kiryu, Nishikiyama is a man capable of incredible acts of loyalty whilst ridden by his greediness. So the tattoo on his back captures the very moment of a crimson carp leaping out of the water. Whether the carp will become a dragon or be smashed by the river on the rocks depends on whether the man can muster enough strength to remain righteous until the end of the jump. despite only showing up very limited times in the games, because Nishikiyama is in Yakuza 0 and Kiwami, and the first one. Despite showing only up a limited time in the games, the Carper Nishikiyama incorporates so well with his story, it becomes much more than just a piece of cool visuals. I really love the work Sega put into it.
Yeah.
It's from Ray.
And today...
I really love this,
Today is the day that I've just realised why Magikarp turns into a Gyarados.
Yeah, because carps turn into dragons.
That's today. In my head, I was like, whoa. Mind blown.
You were today years old when you worked that out.
I was today years old. That's brilliant. I love that old legend. You were kind of touching on it earlier, weren't you? That's
Yeah, obviously Ray knows more about it than I do. But
Ray's done the research.
I only know about the koi turning into a dragon thing from a Trivium song.
Which we all get our history from. So
it's a good song though, Becoming the Dragon.
Yeah,
Great song.
I know it. So excellent. Thank you for your correspondence, and thank you, Joe. Thank you very much for listening to four gentlemen talk over you for 2 hours.
I have got one thing to add. I've
go for it.
remembered my favourite tattoo.
Finally!
You asked earlier. I know, it only took 2 hours. I've got a tattoo. I've got a Bioshock tattoo on my leg, and it's a picture of a splicer saying "Splice up your life."
Oh,
yes, love it.
Amazing.
Excellent. We get a picture of that for the socials.
And we've also got an episode title.
Splice up your life.
Splice up your life. Yeah.
Excellent. So thank you for that correspondence, and thank you. I wouldn't say guys, but I have to say people on this episode. You people for joining me and talking about body modifications. Let's go to the socials before we wrap this up.
So you can find us on Twitter at Modern Escapism. On there, you'll find a link to all of our episodes, our social, and our Discord. If you have any comments, you can either tweet us there or email us at modernescapism@gmail.com.
modernescapismpod@gmail.com.
modernescapismpod@gmail.com. If you watch gaming streams, Oodles is continuing his Dark Souls. Sorry, it's not. He's doing his Titanfall 2 on Saturday night. Biggie is doing Dark Souls on a Monday night.
If I were doing Dark Souls, it'd have been done months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. You should have seen me fighting that Iron Golem, man.
Shit.
Bloody hell.
I'm joking.
Wow.
And Gadget and I will, by the time this comes out, next week, the week after, we're going to do...
Oh, no, let's talk about time again. I will have done, by the time you hear this, I will have done another XCOM 2.
You're doing an XCOM 2 because I'm not available on Wednesday night. But the week that this comes out, up to the next episode, we're going to start Gears of War 5 Hive Busters.
Oh.
So, I think...
Also known as It Takes Two.
Yeah. We'll get onto that one day, don't worry.
Yeah, when it's 20 quid.
And next week's episode is going to be Don't Judge a Book by its cover.
Oh.
So we're going to talk about things that we just completely wrote off, mainly because of the way it looked. Or what
shagging aliens.
Yeah, or what we thought it was going to be like, but actually really enjoyed it in the end. Joe, do you have socials for your tattoo art that you want to plug?
So my Instagram is Candymachine_tattoos.
Lovely.
Excellent.
And that is actually linked in the show notes as well, because of course Joe did the wonderful artwork when we redid our artwork for this podcast. So she's had a link in there ever since.
Yes.
So if you just go to the bottom,
just
go to the bottom of the socials, you'll get a link straight to Joe's Instagram.
Beautiful work in there.
Yeah, check that artwork.
And
it's great.
As per, if you have the time to spare, we'd love it if you could just leave us a review on anywhere really, Apple Podcasts or wherever you can do a review. 5 stars only, because we are 5-star. We're a 5-star podcast.
5-star content.
Yeah,
we are golden gods.
But it does help the podcast get noticed, and it's a nice thing to do.
It's mainly due to the algorithm that Apple have, where the more stars you get, the more chance you're going to get on the front.
Yep. So help us grow by leaving us a nice review.
And
or a shit review. Just, you can leave us a shit review,
Yeah.
but give us 5 stars. It's just about the stars. It's up to you.
And we'll get Joe to come around your house if you don't and do a Modern Escapism tattoo, but spell it wrong.
Imagine that. And not leave any space so you can cover it up. You can add a letter. It'll be squashed.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, that's been everything. Thank you very much for joining us, Joe. Thank you three for joining me as per usual. And please look forward to Do Dragons Dream of Scorched Sheep, which stars Joe and us. It's incredible.
But mostly Joe.
But mostly Joe.
She is the star of it.
Yes, it's an incredible bit of work. I mean, spoiler alert, we have recorded an episode and 2 episodes. Well, I can't hear.
2 episodes.
2 episodes. It was all a blur.
You were there.
I was there. It was all a blur. And I haven't heard the finished product, but the raw product is absolute gold. So look forward to that. And thank you very much. We will see you next week for Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover. Good night. Shoot me in the face.
I was saying that ending got away from you there, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't know how to end. I'm like,